up, guys? This is another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 101. 101, guys.
Hell yeah.
We fucking broke the curse.
What was the curse?
I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we're setting our phasers to stun with Adam.
Oh, shit.
This week we watched White Boy Rick.
What was the curse? What's the curse?
I don't know. I just made that up. But I was able to nail the intro this time. Remember last time I was like,
Like when you're a kid learning to kick a football, and that first couple of pathetic kicks you get where you put out your all into it and it only goes like a couple feet.
I can remember, like, no shit, check this out. This sounds stupid, but I remember riding my bicycle one day and I was trying to blow a bubble. My bubble gum. Couldn't do it, you know. I was like, blowing holes through it. And when I was riding my bike, and it went, and I was like, oh shit, and wrecked. Went down on the bike, like, but I fucking had a bubble. I pulled the bubble out, ran inside with it. Look, that's a true story.
Skin up knees and everything.
Yeah, but I had a fucking bubble, had dirt on it. I fell. I didn't pop that bubble, though. It took me a while, but I finally got it. I figured it out. I could fucking blow it down. Anyway.
If you didn't have skin up knees as a kid, you wouldn't shit. You know what I'm saying?
If you didn't put a can on your bicycle tire, you ain't shit.
If you didn't stub your big toe on the asphalt, walk around barefoot.
Yeah, fuck
no, dude. I peeled mine back a little bit one time. The corner of it.
Oh, dude.
You know, that bloody fucking toenail?
Well, the time it happens to the point where you're like, this is why I wear socks.
Yeah.
God damn it. Go in and fucking put your shit on.
To this day, I won't go outside without shoes on.
No, hell no. There's too much glass, man.
Fuck walking around outside, man.
There's too much world for me out there. Like,
I feel like anytime somebody's like, help me move something, I'm like, hang on, let me put my shoes on.
Yeah, steel toe.
You know what I'm saying? No, I just need something on my foot.
You got to know you're going to grip that ground, man.
I can't I just don't want something to fall on my foot when I don't have a shoe on.
Yeah, break it.
Shoe helps a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, a dresser's not going to break the skin when you got a shoe on.
No.
But if you ain't got a shoe on and a fucking dresser falls on top of it, shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You'll lose a fucking digit.
Yeah, fuck that. I ain't wanting to lose no motherfucking digits.
None of that stuff happened in this movie.
I know.
I don't even know what's happening. But here's what happened. What happened was, did y'all know this is a true story?
No.
This shit really happened.
That was the incentive that my wife went on when she got it, and we sat and watched it.
Yeah. Back when I saw the trailer, I Googled White Boy Rick to see when it was coming out.
Yeah.
And it brought up, like, the real guy, which sat in jail until 2017.
Yeah, for 31 years?
And then guess what? I don't even remember. I know at the end of the movie they had a little card, where they're like, and so became the mayor, like.
Yeah.
After he got out of jail, now this is what I read online. He got out of jail. He was released to the U.S. Marshals. And they put him back in jail for a car stealing ring. Like,
what?
Right back in, dude.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
So he's in jail right now?
I think so.
That's fucking horse shit.
He got out of jail, and then when he got out, he was only going to jail for that one thing.
Yeah.
And when he got out of that, they were like, well, we got something else, because he was being prosecuted by another, a whole other division. Like,
right.
This was the drug task force there that got him in, Detroit. These motherfuckers walking around with handguns like it wasn't shit, right? Like,
has Detroit always been a fucking shithole? Like, ever since it's been built? Jesus Christ. It made me fucking feel bad for everybody that lived there.
I did too. I was like, man, that place is a fucking like third world country.
Yeah, it looks like fucking
His sister had one hell of a cold sore.
No,
like, she needs some Abreva.
At this point, though, like, because when does this movie take place? Like, what, the fucking
80s?
1984 to 87.
Yeah, 87 is when he got popped.
80s. It's 2019. I don't mean to do the current year meme, but like for fucking real though, like But 2019, if you still have a reason to still be in fucking Detroit, whatever. I mean,
property is very cheap there now.
Well, here's my thing. Tip of the hat to the people that want to put up with that shit.
Yeah, for real.
Like, tip of the hat. That's talking about giving a fuck about where you're from. Like, because at this point, you think a lot of people would have, hit the fucking road.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something you don't know about Detroit. Probably don't know this. It's not exactly a sanctuary city, but there's a lot of them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got their own little, like, sector that they... Oh, yeah, dude. It's like...
Yeah.
Who are they?
It's like...
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know.
They...
Did y'all see this news story about Detroit? So we're going to hit on this for a minute. About these black guys in Detroit.
You're gonna have to be a little more specific. No, I'm just kidding. Joking.
They bought these paintball guns, right?
I did see this, and they're going around doing drive-by paintball. You saw that on YouTube.
Yeah, I did.
I watched the same video.
And then
so they were like, yeah, we're having fun with it. Instead of like doing real drive-bys, they were fucking paintballing motherfuckers.
They were having gang war paintball fight.
Which like, sounds fun.
Yeah.
That's like the most passive-aggressive, like...
Yeah.
This one dude came up with it.
Yeah. He was like, I bought a paintball gun from this dude, and this guy from this other gang was fucking with me. So I just went to my car and pulled my paintball gun out and shot him. And then the next thing I know, he had a paintball gun. And then my homies had like everybody just started buying paintball guns.
Oh, dude, they had them like, they were like AK-47 paintball guns, and they were like riding by like, doing drive-by paintballs.
Well, he got me into this. Well, he got me into this.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it happened. Though. One guy was like, they were exchanging words, and it was getting heated. So instead of pulling a gun out, he just went to his truck, got the paintball gun out, and just got him a couple of times.
It picked up, it picked up from there.
Snowballed.
That's about as silly as like these really little. I don't know what. I feel like if I call them what they are. If I call them what they are, man, it gives them power. But y'all have seen the videos of these particular scrawny fuckers trying to show how tough they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fuck boys.
Your words, not mine, sir.
I mean,
better than what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Probably.
But, my thing was
definitely. Like
the police started shutting them down because they were causing too much money, too much property
damage to property, yeah.
And so the police told them if they find anybody with paintball guns, they're going to arrest them and prosecute them like they're real weapons.
And the one guy was fighting for it. The guy that kind of started all of it and it was going around keeping it going, like, he was fighting for it. He's like, no, man, you don't understand. Like,
we're not
killing motherfuckers in these streets. Like,
yeah. That
reminds me of another guy. Maybe you've seen this on YouTube. It's this dude. He's got one hell of a scar on his face. I think they might even call him Scarface, but he lives in some other city. You know, it's kind of like this. It's a badass city. Like, he'll get shot all the time and shit. All right. He hears that some people got some beef. All right.
Yeah.
Tyrone's got some fucking beef with J-Bone, you know?
Yeah.
So he goes down there. He goes to meet with one, and he goes to meet with the other, and he's like, let's settle it. Meet in the backyard. And the whole fucking neighborhood gathers around, and they fight. And that's it. It's over after that. Like
fist fight?
Yes. They beat the shit out of each other, but that's it. It's over. Nobody's got to die.
No, I haven't seen that.
Y'all gonna meet right. It's pretty cool. You know, and the police let him do it. They're like, this is better than them killing each other.
Yeah.
And he's actually stopped like many like motherfuckers like, I was gonna kill that motherfucker. And then like usually after they fight,
they're best friends.
Cool. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too, man. Where's the fucking Batman and all this shit, dude? And I don't mean Batman, but like, you know, a motherfucking Batman type.
Shit, they arrested his ass too. That black dude that was going around. Pretending to be.
Oh shit. There was?
Yeah.
There was a guy that was going around. You didn't see that dude?
This is news to me.
Yeah.
What's that guy? What did he go around? What was his name? He had like a purple and gray looking.
Yeah,
he was a vigilante.
He was, man. He was tying motherfuckers up, calling the cops.
Yeah.
No shit.
Dude. That's That's my motherfucker right there.
Nah, he got arrested. They told me he couldn't do that shit. It's dangerous.
Free him. Dude,
he's not in jail. He just can't do that shit no more.
Look, you wanna fucking be like a vigilante and go do shit like that. Like a motherfucker has to know that they're gonna get shot.
I think he did get shot.
Yeah.
I mean, they know. So here's my thing: if cops, I don't know, I understand it. If somebody wants to go into harm's way and they can find with empirical evidence that homeboy's trying to do the right thing, let him do it, man. If he gets killed in the process, that's his fault.
Yeah, but it turns into a liability issue then. If he fucks somebody up and breaks their fucking jaw, then how are they going to prosecute this fucking...
But if he's in the middle of a warehouse beating up a guy who's got 2 kids in another room that he's been abusing, how does he have rights? How does that man have rights?
They do,
rights,
though.
Dude. Innocent until proven guilty.
That's like people that break into people's houses and fall through the roof and break their shoulder. They can take the homeowner.
This is the very reason why we need people that do shit like that.
Nah, look at him, Travis. I just sent an image over. That's him, dude. And then whenever he got caught, they unmasked him.
Yeah, Phoenix Jones. Yep. Yeah, that was him. I mean, he was doing it to it, man.
Yeah, dude, bulletproof vest.
And they
he even had a little crew there for a minute, like people that get together with him at night, and they'd go around like, trying to catch people that.
I mean, I don't know.
They shut him down, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Hell no.
Was he in like Texas or something? Where was he?
No, we need somebody that can get around that. We need a goddamn Batman, dude.
Oh, Seattle.
We're never gonna
put his ass in Chicago.
Yeah, for real.
And he wore a camera and everything. Like he would wear a GoPro.
Yeah.
He actually stopped some crimes though. He
was a real deal.
Yeah.
But still though, man, like
I'm not even saying that I'm not even saying that they gotta have the theatrics of Batman. I'm saying just a bad John Wick type motherfucker that's just getting shit done.
Well, that's what I always liked about Batman.
His means are questionable.
Like Batman's a real guy.
If he's killing murderers that are more than likely gonna kill again or be willing to kill to keep that place locked down, are we really depriving anyone of anything by taking them out?
But that's where the Dexter clause comes into effect.
Yeah.
Like
they passed a law, the Dexter clause.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I know a lot of people get wrapped up in the crime. Not a lot, but there is a percentage enough that I feel it needs pointing out. There are people out there that commit crimes that are, I don't know the proper lingo. You're more familiar with the alignment now, Griff, than I am, but where it's like I'm gonna steal from a pharmacy, but it's because my insert family member who's sick as fuck. Mm-hmm. Pardon my dog, guys.
Kill it. No, I'm just kidding. This is a joke.
But
sorry. There's like, look, there's stealing money, picking some money up off the ground when you're broke as fuck.
Yeah.
Put some gas in your car, get a cheeseburger. Like, there's good crimes, there's bad crimes. Kinda. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a victimless crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody got hurt.
Not in the eyes of the law, obviously.
No, they'll fucking lock your ass up in a heartbeat. They locked this 15-year-old kid up.
Yeah, for real.
After they pushed his ass into it.
Yeah.
He got fucked, man.
I got some things to say about this shit.
Well, he was fucked from the get-go because his father was fucking a weapons dealer selling aftermarket fucking or homemade silencers.
Well, and he was selling guns to people and he didn't register it. Like,
yeah.
You can't sell guns out of the trunk of your car at that fucking gas station.
No.
He was like, that bad boy right there is $1,300. Let you have it for $1,000,
Yeah. Well, being a victim to being fucked over, I sympathize with this kid. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, life in prison.
Yeah.
And it was because of the amount of cocaine that the box had in it.
Yeah.
If it would have been like, there's a certain amount of grams, once you go over it, life.
Yeah.
They threw the book at that motherfucker. But I will say this, they probably saved his life.
Well,
a lot of people wanted to kill him.
Yeah, they did save his life, but at the same time, like that's how the system gets you. That's how people, because whenever you're in that situation to where you can talk to someone, you can do something, or someone else can do something to get you out of the situation, uh they're going to exploit that and take full advantage of it. They're not there to help you at all. They want you to help them. They don't want to help you at all.
No, the cops, they weren't helping this kid with anything. They were like, they just needed, the cops don't know anything unless you tell them.
Yeah.
That's how they work. They're just going around threatening motherfuckers that they catch. And when that cop handed him that fucking thing of drugs, they needed him to start selling so he could get a little, some trust.
Yeah.
He could get a little, But then here's the problem. Once the FBI was finished with him, they're like, all right, that's it. We're done with you.
Yeah.
Hell, he already figured out how to make money. I mean, you blame him?
No.
Of course he's going to sell that shit. He's living in Detroit in the 80s.
Yeah.
They're broke as fuck. His sister's got fucking cold sore. Like,
yeah, he got shot.
Sleeping in some damn. Yeah, he was like, what did he say? He's like, we can't live like this. He's like, you turned out all right. And he's like, I'm shitting in a bag, man.
Yeah, like, come on.
I'm shitting in a bag. That was fucked up. That dude came in. I knew something was about to happen.
Yeah.
When dude came in, I was like, oh, because the way he was looking around.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm sorry, man. Shot him in the stomach. And I was like, those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I think they cut some shit out of this movie. Y'all remember the original trailer?
Yeah.
The original trailer had more, like, them balling.
Yeah.
Like him going around blowing his money, his dad too. Like,
yeah.
They cut a lot out. And I think, like, after I watched the movie, I got online, looking around. The sister fucking bitched from fucking here to fucking Timbuktu about this movie. Like, the way they made him look, like,
right.
There was some big, like, some shit over this movie. Like,
right.
It's like, why? Because they made you look like a damn crackhead?
Well, I mean, if the
shoe
fits,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the biggest problem that I had with the movie itself was I feel like we needed a narrator.
Mm-hmm.
You
needed to hear him talking over it. Well, or the dad or somebody. Like,
they should have had the granddad.
Yeah.
Dude from from Nebraska.
Yeah. The old guy, the old smart ass.
Yeah. They needed someone to talk over everything to kind of streamline, because it jumps around so much.
Yeah, because like all of a sudden this one thing's happened and it was like 1986 and it's like what? Like,
wait a minute, yeah.
He got a fucking dookie chain? What the hell?
That thing was huge too.
Yeah. That's Jesus. A proper dookie chain, fellas.
Wasn't it though?
That's what they call that. What about this fucking Star of David chain? He didn't want to get into heaven on technicality.
That shit was so fucking.
He's like, "What'd you convert to?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He didn't even get it. He's just a kid.
No, 15.
He just wanted it because it had a star on it.
He said he wanted to go back to school, and they wouldn't let him because he got shot, and it was too high of a risk to go back to school. Like, so if that doesn't,
I mean, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, he's fucking 15. Like, I understand. Like, and he's apologized. I've read and saw some of the stuff. The real
he
life
was a
guy.
Kid.
Yeah, I mean,
can't even blame him. There's kids that get off now for like like more really. Like,
well,
they said it would have been easier if he would have murdered somebody.
Yeah. Well, wasn't there a kid recently that was a swimmer that got off for raping someone and was found?
His father was rich.
Yeah, but he was put into this situation because of his father. He wanted to keep his dad out of prison. Mm-hmm. That's why he was working with the police. And then
they taught him how to make money.
Yeah.
And then they expected him, once they were finished with him, not to keep making money.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous.
They fucked him.
They did.
They should have given him some kind of severance package, something.
Yeah.
He was the youngest informant ever at age 14 when he first started.
That's fucking crazy. That's
had a cool nickname, White Boy Rick.
Yeah. I think it should have been longer. I think the movie.
That's why I think it was cut.
Yeah,
I think they had to take some shit out, man, because
30 to 45 minutes longer.
I think for the type of movie that it was, should have been longer, and I think it was. I think once the movie was complete and they watched it with him or whoever, people got to sign off on this shit. This is somebody's life story. Like,
yeah,
they're not trying to, fuck people over here.
Right.
I think some stuff was pulled out.
Yeah.
Maybe for, because like lawsuits and shit, like,
right.
Like the Cheney movie, like all of the facts in the movie, those are facts.
Yeah.
You got to have lawyers. You got to check shit out. You can't just make shit up. Which is, he would have been able to sue him.
Yeah.
The movie did not do well.
Well, I don't think it got a wide release though, did it?
Remember we watched the trailer.
Well, I know it was a surprise to me when my wife had brought it home. I was like,
damn, it's out already? That's what you were thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
we watched the trailer on the podcast.
On Blu-ray,
Do what now?
I was like, wow, it's on Blu-ray. But yeah, we did watch it on an earlier episode. But that was the last time I thought about it.
See, I thought that McConaughey was White Boy Rick, though, when I watched the trailer. Like, the way they made it look was like he was the, like badass here or something. Like,
yeah.
The movie's budget was $29 million. It made $25.1 the box office.
Almost.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not bad. It just felt like they were.
I liked it
more.
Well, it's in that style of film with settings like it has and stuff, where there's a lot of they're still pumping movies like this out, and they're a lot of them, including this one, are relatively good for that type of movie.
I liked it.
The whole coming of age, the I don't have any better terms for it, man. The real shit movies where it deals with, somebody having to struggle in their life or something like that,
Yeah.
And these type of films don't bring people to the theater anymore. Not really.
No, it has to be I think that's why that next Scorsese movie is going straight to Netflix, honestly. I mean, of course they cut a deal, with Scorsese to do it, but at the same time, like, how many people is going to go watch the fucking a Netflix or a Goodfellas now in theater?
I can't remember what episode it was, guys. I'm sure the topic was brought up. I want to say it was around the time, Griffin, you had your movie pass when that was a thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I remember on an episode that we debated over the future of movie watching.
Yeah.
And we got into this discussion about how streaming's going to be the future, how
VOD.
I think Adam made a lot of really good points.
Yes, I did.
That night. But I mean, at this point now, flash forward to now, what y'all said is right. It's happening.
It's happening, man.
Yeah.
This movie's a product. I mean, it's got star power to bring it in.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew McConaughey is in the movie enough that.
It wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. It pulled me in. I watched it all. I expected more, though.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those films where I think that once it's finally, and I'm sure it's got to be on one of the services that's out there, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. But I think this is the kind of film that is just going to get in that big mass of movies that everyone's going to have watched, but it's never going to get brought up. You're never probably not going to. It's kind of forgettable.
When people are like, you got to watch this movie, they're not going to be like, you got to watch White Boy Rick.
No.
This is a rabbit hole movie.
It had potential. Look, cool story, bro. You know what I mean?
We got to it by means of the podcast, but I think this is one of those movies where if you're a movie watcher, like that's what you do in your spare time, like movie of the day or whatever, what have you, however you go about your
dinner
hobby.
and a movie.
This is one that you get to little later on down the line. After you've went through a lot of the more choice cuts, you know?
Yeah.
Well, McConaughey pulls you in.
Of course.
That's why they put him in it, because you see him, and he did a good job.
Yeah.
Well, I think the majority of people are probably
like
giving a chance because of him being on there.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I recommend we watch the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna watch it because it's got him. I'm like, now, you know, because in my mind, I think he's past that one. You remember the rom-coms he did?
No, yeah.
He's past that.
Thank
like now he
fucking
looks at
God.
a script and goes, I don't know, man. You know, like maybe not.
Well, I
you
mean,
know, like
but this movie also proves that the McConaissance is over.
yeah,
Shit.
I would go to that.
The
McConaissance.
The Dark Tower proves that in painstaking realism.
He played a good piece of shit. He wasn't like to the extreme piece of shit dad. He was just kind of a deadbeat, man. He didn't have no money. He didn't have a real job. He was fucking, you know. When his son wanted to sell drugs, I guarantee you that's not how that conversation went.
Well, it's phoned in. It was a phoned in performance kind of, because to me, one of McConaughey's default characteristics, like, hey, you're going to be a character actor, and he goes through whatever process, he can be a fucking sleazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, he's good at that. He's good.
He wasn't like super sleazy.
He can play a good bad guy.
Yeah.
With the right direction. But, you know, I mean, I think I was kind of on board with Adam's thoughts on it. I was thinking this movie was going to be more about whatever character he was playing.
Yeah. I thought he was White Boy Rick.
Like, he was more background piece. Like, hey, remember McConaughey's in this movie, guys.
Yeah.
In about 10 minutes.
Hell, that beginning pulled your ass in, though.
Whenever at the gun show?
No, when he's like, is that Ty's car? He goes, I think it is
when
Ty's.
they come back.
And he's like, yeah.
How you going to, I mean, yeah, that's his busted up piece
what
of
about
shit.
what about the scene, though, where it shows McConaughey selling that gun to that woman, and he looks up and he sees his kid in the fucking car with the cops.
That's what he said, $1,300, but I'll let you have it for $1,000.
Yeah.
For a cool stack.
Well, and they did do a good job.
The cinematography was good.
I can see where
shot well.
Having a narrator would have made the movie, you know, like Griff said, more streamlined, more kind of.
It should have been McConaughey.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sit and listen to him talk all day.
I guess as a good argument, though, I mean, by the time that scene happens and McConaughey sees it, you know in your head, oh, fuck, like, it's about to pop off at the homestead.
There was nothing like bridging everything together. It suffered from that. There was no bridge.
No, because it was
just riff. Like,
well, I feel like maybe it was done because maybe that kind of in a maybe I'm going too artsy with it, but maybe that was it was intended for. Well, what they were going for through that kid's perspective, where his life was just a series of random ass fucking occurrences, some purposely, some not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where when you watch it, you're just like, at the end of the day, the purpose. Well, at the end of the day, the purpose is to tell this guy's story, and that involves telling the story of him, his dad, and his sister.
Yeah,
and it just kind of jumping and hopping from here and there and all over the place. I like if that was their intention to do it, they did it. But at the same time, like, you can't do a biopic like that.
And it's not like we had a hard time following it.
No,
it just wasn't bridged together very well. Like,
no,
you know, we watch movies. That's our thing. There's a fucking formula. There's a format here.
Well, would it be safe to say that maybe his life really just was? I mean, as interesting as the events were, it's also like that's something that I would find interesting while I'm doing a Wikipedia dive.
Yeah,
I think shit was cut out.
It's not information that being brought up and made into a feature film is going to make me understand or sympathize or lack thereof more with those characters than, say, just reading it as just one of the many fucked up things that's happened in the world. Type of dives everybody takes them when they fucking get on shit like that.
Well, I think that there was more that his story deserved more clout because it is like they really didn't go too much into like how bad he was fucked over.
No,
like just him saying he was the longest serving nonviolent offender in the United States history. Like those words are impactful, but it would be more impactful with someone telling you and you see him trudging along in the prison. You know what I'm saying?
I believe they said out of 200 people that kind of had the same deal, like they got caught with these drugs. That Detroit's got some, those drug laws there, they're extreme. Out of 200 people, that kind of got busted the same way he did, the kind of, not they were informants, but went to the jail for kind of the same shit.
Yeah.
He was the last one to get out.
I believe it.
He sat in there from the ages, he sat in there from 17 until what? 40,
Until
8, 7, something like that?
Yeah, 47.
He got out in 2017, so. I mean, goddamn, dude, that's your life. Like, what are you going to do now?
I mean,
I actually saw a video on YouTube of a former hitman that worked for a lot of those gangs in the Detroit area.
Yeah.
And he said, I can't wait for him to get out.
Damn.
Like, he's still fucking dead man walking, dude. There's people that still want to kill him.
Yeah.
Because he brought people down. He fucked up. This is somebody that's tied in with a family. Like,
is there any way of finding out like what the bounty on his head is?
I didn't see that like that.
I mean, you can.
I think it's personal.
Yeah.
I think it's a personal thing. Like,
well,
those people that went to jail, and that one guy only did 20 years.
Yeah.
The main dude, fucking Rafiki, what was his name?
Yeah. I don't think it was Rafiki, but
he looked like a Rafiki, didn't he? Rafiki. Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Simba.
Yeah. He he did 20 years. He had his fun. He was dipping in all kinds of little honey holes. Like,
wasn't he though?
Beat a motherfucker half to death with a goddamn wine bottle.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck.
That motherfucker came in there, it's pink, got your tickets, player, I knew when they went back home, I was like, that motherfucker's a dead man.
Yeah.
'Cause he was pissed. He was like, come all the way here. We get no tickets to the fight. I knew they weren't going to get in that fight. Here's what I don't understand, too, is like, why are they letting this little white boy Rick tag along? Because he was friends with, what was his name, Blue?
Yeah.
That's why? Like, all I'm saying is if you're running some shit like this, you ain't letting these fucking kids tag along, dude.
No,
how fucking stupid you got to be. Like,
yeah.
But they knew it was him. They knew it was up. They shot him. They tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Which was fucked up. Dude, when they pulled up to that house and opened fire on it, and I was like, damn, one of these kids going to get shot. I just knew it. And I was like, oh. The dad was like, I'll be back in an hour. Like, he knew some bad shit was coming.
Yeah.
Left the damn house, man. Let his kids get shot up. Like,
it's fucked up, man. And it's real fucked up how, just how bad how shitty everybody's situation. You know what I mean? Like, this kid could have had so much more potential if his dad wasn't such a piece of shit and they had like an actual normal fucking life, like something else could have came of it. But I mean, he's just a victim of circumstance, really, when you get down to
his environment.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way a lot of these people, a lot of these kids that grow up in these inner cities, like
can't really blame them. I mean, what else they gonna do?
I mean,
get a good job? Where?
Yeah, I mean, what do they know? What can they do? They have no potential because no one is helping them exploit their potential. You know what I mean?
And usually they don't have a father figure,
Yeah.
Nobody to like guide them, tell them what to do. He had one, but he was doing sketchy shit. Like,
yeah,
I guarantee you that conversation. All right, about halfway through the movie, I was just like, is this movie about to go off? Like,
right.
Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, part 2.
Yeah.
This is the next movie. We're we're into the sequel. But he pulls over on the side of the road. They have this crazy fucking spin out.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're in the ditch. He's like, I'm shitting in a bag, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, we got to sell drugs. I can do it. We can make money. And he's like, no. Guarantee you that's not how that conversation went.
No.
His dad would have been like, hell yeah. He was just that kind of motherfucker, man. Like,
yeah, and
he's down to ride.
He should have got out of it.
And his dad was saying it, which I'm sure was added in for the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, we need to get out soon. Like, we don't need to be greedy.
Well,
he went to bed that night.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers was in there the next morning. Like,
whenever his dad opened the video store, that should have been there.
Yeah.
That should have been the out.
That's all they needed.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking crazy, man. I feel sorry for the kid, man. Like, for real. I feel sorry for the guy because he got fucked every which way. He got fucked over by his family. He got fucked over by the police. He got fucked over by his friends. And he just kind of like rolled with it, you know?
FBI used him.
Yeah.
The kid.
Just a beat up piece of meat, you know?
Just a beat up piece of meat.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I don't think the movie done his story justice.
No,
I think there's more there. It really, though, when you watch it, man, and then judging by the time of the movie,
yeah,
I'm like, they tried to thin this out.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the executives watched it. I don't know. They were like, it's too long. He's like, yeah, but we need all these scenes, man. Like, this is somebody's life.
Right.
It's just too long. It's boring. It's like, yeah, maybe to you, but.
Yeah, people out there like that shit.
Because it just felt cut down, man. Watered down.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, at least I know the story now.
Now we know the story of White Boy Rick.
Yeah. And if I see a documentary or something come on about it, I'm going to watch it. Because
there's a bunch of them on YouTube.
I'm interested, you know? It's fucked up. And I want to, I mean, I would like to see him one day, like, get the fuck out and, like, him and whoever, just get the fuck away and just be happy in his final days, you know?
Using a 14-year-old kid, a child, as an informant, get them to push and peddle drugs, should fucking be illegal.
Yeah.
I don't think that shit would fly now.
No. This was the 80s, man.
He should have been freed, and he should have been compensated.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard. I mean, at least give him a little money. Like, do y'all remember those kids that went to jail for that murder? Y'all remember Johnny Depp, like, made a documentary about him or something?
No. Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Like, in this little shithole town, there were these, like, 3, like, goth, like, punk type kids.
Oh,
y'all know
Memphis 3.
There you go.
No,
all right, these kids. You ain't never heard about that?
No.
Look, dude. A couple years ago, they let them out. They know they didn't do it. They like, we fucked up. And this is what they told them. They brought them in. They said, we will let you leave today if you'll sign this paper that says you did it.
What the fuck?
You know why?
So they don't look like a bunch of dumbasses?
So they don't get sued.
Yeah.
They had to cover their ass. Dude, they locked these motherfuckers up until they were in their 30s.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, dude. Look that shit up.
That's fucking crazy.
They got fucked, man. Hard. And then, like, they were like teenagers when they locked them up.
Oh, yeah, they were called the West Memphis 3.
Yeah. Damn. And then turns out, later on in life, they were like, wow, we don't think, you know, they were like, you know, new shit come to light.
Yeah.
Just a few years back when they let them out, I remember seeing them on TV, like, you know, crying and shit. Like, we're just happy to be out. Like,
right.
We're in our 30s now, but at least we can, you know, we're not in jail for I think they were in there for like 20 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, Johnny Depp made a documentary about those motherfuckers. He was really involved with that, trying to get them out, and he felt bad for them. But that was the only way they let them walk, was if they signed paperwork admitting that they did it. Case is closed. They admit, they signed the paperwork. They can walk. We'll let them out on time served today. But they said the reason they needed them to sign that is because as soon as they got out of jail, they could turn around and sued big money for locking them up for fucking half their life.
So is the movie that he did called Devil's Knot?
I think so.
The true story of the West Memphis Three?
It's either that or he was involved in it somehow.
Oh, that's a book. No, here's the film.
But you see them? You see the kids?
Yeah, I see them.
And they got locked up. Like one of the kids is like slow.
But you gotta look into what they're charged for, because that murder was pretty brutal. Very fucking brutal.
There was some kids like murdered and raped and shit, like young kids.
Damian Eccles was sentenced to death. Jesse Miss Kelly Jr. was sentenced to life imprisonment plus 2 20-year sentences, and Jason Baldwin was sentenced to life imprisonment. During the trial, the prosecution asserted that the children were killed as part of a satanic ritual. Damn, why haven't I ever heard of this shit? That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna go deep diving on that after a while.
Yeah, watch that documentary.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
But they ended up letting them go.
Why isn't that a movie?
I'm sure it will be at some point.
We could make it.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, let's do it. I'm ready. Y'all ready to make a movie?
About them, like a movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those crime scene photos are fucking brutal. 2 kids, man, and they fucking stripped them down. They fucked them up.
That's fucking crazy.
But, later in life, they were like, they came out, they picked those kids because of how they looked.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think they even like Marilyn Manson and shit. Like,
yeah.
But they ended up coming out and saying that.
What was the years that it happened? Because it could have been overshadowed by like Columbine or something.
94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Columbine didn't happen until 99, I think.
Yeah. It was late 90s, early 2000s. But, so what do y'all want to rate the movie?
Damien was sentenced to death.
Yeah.
But they all 3 walked, man. Look, the DNA evidence. Yeah, see, there was something that just didn't add up. Like,
right.
So they let them out. What's weird is they were supposed to serve, one of them was, Jesse was going to serve life plus 20 years. It's like.
Yeah. How the fuck do you.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Good thing they didn't kill him.
Right.
That would have been a big fuck up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I'll give White Boy Rick a star. I'm not going to give it a no star. I'm not going to give it a full star. Cool story, bro. Weird flex. But, the movie, I don't know. The director of this movie, he didn't do the movie justice. Or, maybe there's a director's cut that we're not getting to see. Like,
yeah.
It didn't translate well on the big screen, and it should have.
Yeah.
So this guy directed. What's he got under his belt? Was there anything good here? Okay, he directed a bunch of TV, a bunch of British TV.
This was his first.
Secret Diary of a Call Girl. That's that show with the chick from
Rose.
Yeah. So he did a bunch of British television. He's from France. So, I don't know. It just didn't, it would have been, give it to a better director. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or maybe a better
He kind of fucked the story.
Yeah.
He screwed the pooch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he screwed it herd.
So I'll give it a half star. But it was still, it's worth the watch.
Yeah.
Just to know the story. McConaughey was good. The kid that was playing White Boy Rick, he was pretty good.
He was great.
Yeah. The cast was, it was a solid cast. They even had like the old man.
Yeah.
You're doing it all wrong. He was that kind of old guy,
Yeah. That
What do
guy's
you mean
amazing.
you don't eat pancakes? Remember this scene at the beginning when the girl runs out of the house and he's like standing in the road with his fucking gun, like
Yeah.
with a
Get the
damn
fuck back
AK
in the
with a.
house.
That scene in the gun show is pretty cool. He goes over there and he's like, "It's not AK-47. It's an Egyptian
Yeah.
knockoff." And he's like, "Why don't y'all fuck off?" He's like, "You see that guy over there?" He's like, "Yeah, how you think he's gonna like it when I tell him you're trying to sell a gun to a 14-year-old?"
Yeah, right.
So they got both guns for $150 and the pistol.
No big deal.
Which was real.
That's fucking crazy.
And he's down there making silencers for him, like,
yeah,
which I'm pretty sure is illegal.
I love it whenever he gets after he gets out of jail and he comes back. He goes, "Where's my car, Rick? Where's my car, Rick? Where's my car?"
I like that scene. There was, I don't know if y'all remember this. It stood out to me. It was just a good shot. Most memorable shot in the movie, and it ain't got anything to do with anything, but it was a good shot. All right. Him and his sister's in the diner. He's got this fucking duck. Fucking disco duck over here, you know?
Yeah.
They steal the car, and he runs outside, and they're shooting at it. And then it's just this shot of the diner.
And everybody starts standing up.
Yeah, do y'all remember that? And it just held on it for a minute. It was a cool shot. When I saw that, I was like, that's a fucking...
Yeah.
That's framed up very, you know, it's nice. Like, that looks good. Like...
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the shot in the movie that I'm like, yeah.
Know? I approve.
Yeah, but I did approve. It was a good shot. But I give it a half star. Yeah. Makes me want to watch a documentary. I will say that.
I agree. I'm gonna give it the half star treatment too. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I'm glad I watched it. I'll probably go back and watch it again. Because it was interesting enough and good. It was good enough and interesting enough to give it multiple watchings, I feel. And I think that after you know the story, I think going back and watching it again will kind of help you piece the whole
time
together.
You're just like, God damn, what is happening? Like, when's it gonna happen?
Right.
I know he's going to jail. When?
Yeah.
So I was waiting on it. It was like impending doom.
Well, see, I didn't know anything about him, so I was like, "Is he gonna die? You know, like, is he gonna get shot?"
I Googled it when we watched the trailer and read about who White Boy Rick was.
You got the dates on it?
Yeah, just the little, you know, that little wiki that they give you, the little readout. I didn't go to the page, but on Google, right under when you search his name, you know, it's like just a little quick little, like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
But the trailer, there was something was missing, man. I think they cut it down.
Yeah, I agree.
Movie looked like it had been watered down by the studio, probably.
Yeah, a bunch of bastards, bunch of motherfuckers. That's all I got.
Not the first time, and definitely won't be the last.
No, I'm interested in watching it again, but that's about all. Half
you have a good copy of it?
Yeah, I watched the Blu-ray copy.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah,
that snow was definitely CGI when they were driving, though.
Yeah, well, I love the filmography, the cinematography of it. Like the way that it looked. I mean, whenever it showed Detroit, you felt like you were in a fucking shithole because it looked like a fucking shithole. You know,
when he was walking down the road to go to that trap house.
Yeah.
That shit was real as fuck, dude. Like, every house was abandoned.
Yeah.
Boarded up. There's just the two dudes down there on the end, you know?
Yeah.
People fucking smoking crack rock on the street. Like,
they didn't give a fuck. He said, "It's from my sister."
Come over there.
He said, "What's your sister smell like?" He said, "Mind your fucking business and give me the drop." He said, "What's your sister look like?" Mind your fucking business.
Is she pretty?
Yeah. He said, "Maybe I can have a taste and you'll get yours for free or something like that." He said, "Mind your fucking business."
Which is what she was doing in that damn crack house. She was banging people for crack rock.
That detox scene was real as fuck almost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
In that room.
Yeah, that's what you have to do though. Yeah, hell yeah.
They saved her. She was the one that was pissed about the movie. She did interviews, man. They're on YouTube. She was like, the way they made their family look.
Well, I mean,
she just didn't like how they made her look. I mean, they made her look like a crackhead, you know? I mean, I mean,
so she wasn't doing crack and fucking whoever would get her crack. But you know what I mean, though. Like, let's hear her side of it. Let's get her on the podcast. Fuck it.
Call her up. She might do it. I think her 15 minutes are over.
Let's fucking do it, man. I'm down. So, what do you think? What you got, Trav?
Half star, man. I mean, for all the reasons I stated earlier, dude. Like, it's one of those movies. It's a product of the way the movie industry works now. I don't know. I'm glad I watched it. I mean, the parts that were good and all the parts that y'all praised that I can't help but agree. But
when it was good, it was good.
It's worth watching, but it's still a forgettable movie.
Rent. I don't think it's a purchase.
Well, if you find it cheap enough.
Yeah, real cheap. Not full price purchase.
And, well, if you're into stuff like, you know.
It's a shelf setter, dude.
I mean, it's a shelf sitter for the drama shelf, you know?
Yeah.
Just to make your McConaughey collection bigger. What did you say earlier? What'd you call that?
McConaughey's.
That's a podcast. Hey, guys, welcome back to McConaughey's.
Look, you know what we've got to do?
Matthew McConaughey.
We have got to fucking do our review of fucking Dallas Buyers Club. It's got to happen.
I haven't watched it yet.
This is a fucking McConaughey wet dream.
Is it? Okay? Is it really good?
Dude, it is.
Is it his best thing? Better than True Detective?
It's right there with it. Like they
came out around the same time.
They're rated on the same level, dude. Because it is so fucking good. Like when you watch, I know that I've praised this movie like crazy.
How the fuck did you come up with that, dude?
I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, man. I don't know. I can't be sure.
Probably around the time of Dark Tower, they were like, well, my, how the mighty have fallen. Well, there was a moment there where it's like he was just fucking.
When he played, here's my thing. He's a good Walter, but the rating kept him from being a great Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter O'Dam is an R-rated villain, dude. They thought they could pull another Negan or Joker, and they just. And even Negan in The Walking Dead, I think he's when you take the piss out of his character with the vulgarity, he just becomes a mustache twirler. Like I'm
gonna tell you, man. I like Negan better than I did fucking McConaughey at fucking Dark Tower. They should have let that guy play it.
Yeah, right.
He'd have been like, I can't even remember. I can't even remember the Dark Tower, dude. And I watched it.
It's another movie where it's like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the asshole.
Yeah, and he's like, what's something that happened in that movie? I can't even remember.
What, in Dark Tower?
Yeah, give me a line. Some kind of moment where McConaughey said something that was something.
Stop breathing.
He'd have been like, stop breathing, Rick. You know, like
Roland can.
You know his delivery's like.
It's like Roland's able to reject my magics.
He really.
Which Walter never fucking said that ever. Like,
can you imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Like, and you know he's probably one of those people, like a storyteller, and you're like sitting around listening to the story, and he's like, and then we got in the car,
man.
Went down the street, and it's like, dude.
If they had simply just adapted the Gunslinger and just let it be the tidbit,
I think it should have been a TV show.
Dude, if it could have been the Gunslinger, we would have got such a good performance out of McConaughey, because at the end of that novel, the Gunslinger catches the Man in Black, and they talk at this place covered in fucking bones, like they call it. It's called Golgotha or whatever. But when he's talking there with Roland, he starts to break down the multiverse to him, and it's just like it's to me, it's one of the highlights of the book as far as the writing's concerned, because that whole going into the whole, like, you know, there's a blade of grass, but in it there's just goes into the whole idea of like, hey, there's a multiverse, there's more shit going on than you're aware of, Roland. Like, you're a dumb motherfucker, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a really cool part, and they could have made it. It would have translated well to screen, I think, if they'd have fucking done it, but. They didn't, so it doesn't matter.
Well, we can still get a decent adaptation of it yet. You just
I think it needs to be a TV show. How you gonna fit fucking 14 books into an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Well, surprisingly, as good as Stephen King is, he's a wordy motherfucker. Like, he could spend an entire chapter talking about a fucking box of chocolates and fucking explaining fucking what could be there, who was it from, what did they do in the fucking, you know, the old world or some shit like that, you know. But they could do it as a series. Obviously, they could do any of these like works of fiction as that shit. As a movie, though, they needed to just do the first book, because they could have done it in a way where it had been a complete story.
Firmament.
If you didn't want to keep watching, you didn't have to in case it bombed, but have it lead, you know, to where, say it was successful, they could have, because the whole ridiculous need to know of everything doesn't start kicking in until the second book anyway.
Right.
But enough of my tower rants.
So it gets.
Let's talk about Nazis.
1.5 stars.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Again, not a terrible movie.
Watch it if you're interested.
Watch it. I pull away half a star on filmmaking alone. Like, there's just, and I'm, you know, it looked great. There was just, you know, I agree with you, dude. If I would have had someone guiding me through this,
yeah,
talking to me, that would have been great.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's genius. Like,
yeah,
shit. Once the movie was finished, it's like, you know, it'd be awesome if you had like McConaughey.
I know.
He's like talking over it, you know, the whole time. Like,
so on a McConaughey scale, this gets just one all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess 1.5. It gets an all right. Oh.
Yeah, it's all right. All.
Yeah. Half all right.
Telling you, man, Dallas Buyers Club's where it's at.
I want to see it. I have it. I haven't watched it. It looks depressing.
It is, but I've watched it several times just for his acting.
I've seen so many ads marketing that film when it came out. Like, it was every fucking where.
Yeah, it won Best Picture, and it's easy to see why. Because, dude, this Jared Leto's performance and Matthew McConaughey's performance are like.
Oh, you mean it's got 30 Seconds to Joker on there?
Yeah, he's great in it too. I love it.
I want to show y'all something.
Uh-oh. Is it your dick?
Y'all have already seen that.
I haven't. I don't want to.
Yeah, you do. All right, I'm going to send you this. Take a look at this. What's that say on it? Now, look, instead of me saying this shit, I'm going to look, Griffin, pull it up. I want you to read this, because you're reading it off the internet. This ain't just some shit I made up.
Okay.
I ain't talking out my ass. What is that?
Werner von Braun. It's a marker from a cemetery.
It is. What's it say on it?
Werner, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Werner.
Yeah.
Werner von Braun, 1912 to 1977. Psalms 19:1. Who's got a Bible hand?
There you go, my man. What's that say, Griffin?
To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night to night sheweth knowledge.
Now, do you know what the firmament is?
No.
You don't know what that is? Click on that link right there. You don't know what that is?
No.
I know where you're going with this, Adam.
The heavens or the sky, especially when you're guarding a terrible thing.
Look at the pictures on the side.
Yeah.
That's the dome.
Is the
flat earther, man.
I ain't talking flat earth, but that's the dome from the Bible.
It says the firmament is the structure above the atmosphere of Earth, conceived as a vast solid dome according to the Genesis creation narrative.
Let me ask you this. Why would this motherfucker that was the head of 6 moon missions, why would he put that on his goddamn his headstone?
Because he broke the firmament.
Did he?
Well, I mean, they went past the shell.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't even know if this is real right now.
Like this podcast?
No, but what's strange is that why is that there? Why?
I don't know, man. For real.
What does it mean?
I mean, let's dissect it here.
You never hear anyone talk about it.
To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night to night sheweth knowledge. Okay?
Yeah, right.
So the heavens
Anybody got a translation? No.
So the heavens declare the glory of God, so okay. And the firmament sheweth his handiwork. So that means that the firmament break. All right, hold on. Let's get a proper definition of sheweth here. Because
you read a SWAT board.
yeah. I mean, sheweth, third person singular, simple, present, indicative form of shew.
Travis, you never go full flat Earth.
No, never.
You don't go full flat Earth on somebody.
Okay, shew is
interesting that that's on his goddamn headstone.
Sheweth is the whatever tense of sheweth is. Shew is the old fashioned spelling of show. So let's plug that in here. And the firmament show his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night show knowledge.
You think he's like talking about himself? You know, like all the stuff he accomplished, what he was able to do. He's just a man.
Well, all right. So according to the firmament here, it says
that doesn't just mean a dome.
Yeah,
but in the Bible, that's what the dome's referred to as. I'm gonna start asking Christians though. I'm gonna start asking them about. So you believe in the dome? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, in the Bible, the dome. There's a dome around Earth, right? It's in the Bible. Oh, you believe this, but you don't believe that?
Well, I mean, when you break it down, it just says the heavens declare the glory of God. Obviously, it's heaven, and the firmament shows his handiwork,
which would be Earth.
I'm sure in context means just Earth.
Yeah,
like you look around your Earth, you see God's handiwork. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night utter knowledge.
Night unto night show knowledge. So that means that to me it says, okay, so Earth would be the firmament, like you said. Day unto day uttereth speech. That means meet, learn, teach, and night unto night show knowledge. That means applying what you've learned during the day, right? So if you put this in the context of this man's life, he spent his life doing what, Adam?
Leaving the planet.
He developed rockets and stuff.
So I mean,
getting off this motherfucker 6 times.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
there
kind of like
and back 6 times.
Yeah.
Huge accomplishment.
So I mean, that's kind of like his work that he day into day uttereth speech, and night unto night show knowledge. All that he put into it, he broke the firmament, and these people saw God's handiwork from heaven above.
Or maybe he was picking at him. He was like, I don't know, we just got up there and punched through. I mean, shit. Kept going, you know.
I just broke it.
Wasn't no dome, baby. You know what I'm saying?
No, the dome. They broke the dome. That's when global warming started.
Yeah. Don't fucking get that started. People will fucking...
They'll dig his body up and fucking burn him alive, you know? But, yeah, that's...
See, we all grew up within an hour of where this motherfucker did most of his work from. Like,
yeah. Where is he buried?
I'm not sure, but they may have a grave there. I know he died in like Virginia or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have my uncle, my grandfather's brother. when he was really young, like, dude, like, 16, 17, he cleaned that motherfucker's office.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, did you ever see him? And he's like, I saw him like one time.
Wow.
But he worked in there, clean up, like kind of like a janitor going around when it closes.
Yeah.
Guy come around emptying trash cans. I said, dude, I'd have been digging through his trash can,
like
looking for fucking secret technologies and shit, like
nanobots.
Yeah,
I'm looking for your secret technologies.
Yeah, I make a movie with Mel Gibson. That sounds like something that Tracy Morgan would say. I'm looking for secret technologies. Doesn't it? That's a Tracy Morgan line if I ever heard one.
Out in the middle of like the desert, digging in like an archaeological site. I'm looking for older technologies.
I hear how you guys are breaking it down, but the firmament in the Bible, is a dome
over Earth.
It is. That's what it is in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's what it says it is. Okay. So next time you're having a debate with somebody, throw that dome in their face. That's all I'm saying, because you don't ever hear them talking about that. They don't say shit about the dome on the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not break the firmament.
Well, I mean,
we did.
But realistically, and people might, when I say this, might be like, that's fucking stupid. But realistically, though, like, if you go back and you like actually study the Bible, it's fucking crazy.
It is crazy how much stuff they know.
Yeah.
Like what's in there. Like,
yeah. Whenever
it's like, man, it's like all these fucking Egyptians that map these stars. Like, we're pretty much using their same shit today. Like, we're going off old star maps, dude. We didn't have to map nothing.
No.
With their badass telescopes.
They
was already mapped. And they were right. I'll be damned, it is a planet, How'd they see that? It's like, well, some guy just stood here on one leg for a long time and was looking at the sky.
He was synced and stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy worked at the NASA here in Bama.
Huntsville, Alabama. They got the one, the arsenal there. Have you guys ever gone to the Space and Rocket Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there. I actually went on. I pitched a fit to go on the tour. So we paid a little extra, and they take you over to the clean room.
Yeah.
There's a catwalk above it. Did you go there?
No.
Yeah, there's a catwalk, man. You walk above the room where they're doing all the work, and you can look down and see them.
Right.
And then you walk over it's like a big fish tank. It's just a big pool. And you could see like guys in like suits in there, like fucking, putting poles together and shit, just doing stuff like training. Yeah. It's just crazy that is in Alabama.
It is. And
then people but everybody's like, oh, Alabama, like, like fucking NASA's here. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, and one of those things, like, could you imagine how many important motherfuckers have been to Huntsville, Alabama?
Oh, yeah. And how many important motherfuckers still live there?
Yeah. That we don't know were there, that we don't know are there, that are just like, just there.
They buried the monkeys there. The 2 monkeys they sent up in space.
Yeah.
They're both buried at the Space and Rocket. Yeah, you can see their graves outside. They've got this little monument for them. They're buried right there. Both of them.
Holy shit.
Yep.
That's some
cool,
shinfo.
Right?
Yeah.
It is shinfo. See, I'm a nerd, though, so when I went there, I was just like...
Mouth breathing.
I saw a real capsule, dude. A capsule that came back from space.
We should take a field trip.
It's there.
Dude, I want to go. I was actually thinking about taking my family to it.
Well, it's one of those things like when you go when you're younger, you like it's cool, but you can't really appreciate it for what it is. Well, like all the stuff they have there.
My kids love science fiction, big Doctor Who fans. All
are
that
you saying that?
But at the same time,
fake? I'm just kidding. Possibly.
My middle child, one of her favorite movies is Interstellar.
Uh-oh. Where does that rate on the fucking McConaughey fucking...
That's a good movie.
That's my favorite movie with him in it.
What about this, guys? At the Space and Rocket Center, they have... You remember when they would come back from space, they would put them on those little Airstream trailers to transport them to the, where they would, like, hold them for, like, a month or so, just to make sure they're fucking... No alien was going to pop out of their stomach or something. Like,
make sure they didn't get space madness.
So,
oh, God.
The Airstream trailer that they used, like on one of those missions, maybe several because it was the same one. It's there, dude. You can like walk
I bet
on
it's
it.
Rusty as fuck.
No, dude, they've kept it clean. They took care of it. But what's weird is when you go on it, like it's like glassed off.
We are in Alabama.
So when you go through it, a little spit shine. When you go through it, there were these old crows shining it when I got there, like these old. Like I done seen about everything when I see astronauts fly. You know what I'm saying?
Adam.
I realized what I said when I said it.
These old crows.
From Dumbo.
Yeah.
Come on now, easy. I done seen about everything. When I see a astronaut fly. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Backtracking.
Oh man.
your fucking minds are warped, okay?
They are.
You just twist it and turn it to whatever you want it to be. I have a particular set of skills.
So,
anyway, they have an Airstream trailer there, and it's the one that they use. Like it's one of the real trailers, but it's glassed off.
Right.
So when you walk inside of it, there's like a little like a hallway of plexiglass that you have to walk through. You can't touch anything.
Yeah.
You might get fucking space dick or something, But it was cool. I'm like, man, this is a piece of history. It's cool that they, what upset me? I'm going on record right now. I'm pissed off at Obama for not giving Huntsville, Alabama one of those goddamn shuttles.
For real.
We had fucking 3 of them. He would not give Huntsville one of those fucking shuttles, dude.
Because we're in Alabama.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Fucking Houston had to fucking fight for it. Like, please. Like, I'm just saying, like, you can go to all those places and they're cool, but like Huntsville, that's a goddamn museum.
Yeah.
They've got, like, everything they have in there, most of it's, like, been used. It's real shit. They've got, like, when they first went up into orbit, they've got those suits. You could see it. It looks like fucking, you're going scuba diving. Like, it's just I'm like, that's what they went up there in? Like, if they were putting me in that suit, I'd be like, can we, like, I got some duct tape?
How did they do that?
Yeah.
How
do you do all of that?
Could you go, if they came to you and they're like, Adam, we're going to train you for the next 5 years.
I wouldn't be able to make it through the training.
Well, I mean,
I saw First Man.
You mean to tell me we wouldn't have a moment where you're just looking intently out the window as it's like you're hearing launch and you're like, fucking doing this?
Yeah. Why am I going to space, though? Why me? They're like, we want to put a podcaster on the moon.
Dude, you're not going to be alone. I assume if you're going to fucking space, pretty sure me and Griff are going to be there with you. So,
all 3 of them.
I mean, you ain't saving the Earth alone, dude.
Wait, guys. We need to start a Kickstarter now. I want to do a podcast from space.
Oh, I'm down. Joe Rogan's going to beat us to it.
It's happening.
Yeah. I want to do a podcast from space. And what it sounds like we would have to take, what's the guy? Virgin Galactic?
Elon, oh.
No, the other guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Bronson.
Yeah.
Richard Bronson.
Yeah, Bronson. Shaken, not stirred. He's like, stirred, not shaken. We'd have to go to like orbit.
Do you really want to do that, Adam?
No.
I would.
Like, I'm afraid to fly, but
you really want to punch through the atmosphere. You want to punch it.
Man, if we can get through it. We can only go so far.
I mean, if it gets to where we can Disney Channel comfort, like, comfortably travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't.
Like,
what do you mean by that?
Oh, y'all know.
Disney Channel travel?
What's the fucking those Disney movies where they take place in space?
Like Xanthera?
I don't. But anyway, anytime space has ever been depicted where motherfucker just walks in, just pops a squat, and then suddenly he's in orbit, you know?
Oh yeah.
Maybe, but
no,
not.
Dude, it's violent.
If it's at the point where we're still having violent ass takeoffs, no.
We need to figure out a way to teleport. Or a tether, like a tether system where you can ride an elevator up to space.
Well, we need Futurama tubes.
Welcome to the Space Needle. The real Space Needle.
The fucking tubes are happening. That's going
Elon's working on that too.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to like beam into places. That would be cool.
Guarantee you when he got stoned on Joe Rogan, he was like tubes.
Now, assuming it's comfortable beaming where people, it's an everyday thing, not where like there's a chance I'm going to be welded to the wall when I come back. There's a lot of people need to die before
Project
I'm comfortable
Manhattan
traveling like that.
Is that what it's called?
I mean, just when it comes to technology like that anyway, the sad truth is a lot of failure is gonna have to happen. Hopefully we're smart enough not to kill people in the process, but I'm pretty sure every safe means of transportation that's happened.
Yeah.
And it's been for the better because people learn from it.
I thought we were past all that because a lot of astronauts died before we finally made it to the moon. It was like we got to watch the movie first, man. Travis told me to watch it, and I watched it. It's amazing. It's a damn good fucking movie.
You guys remember here recently?
Challenger, dude. That's like when that happened, I was like, damn, it's still dangerous. Like,
well, even now when it made headlines that the ISS had a hole in it.
And they all got in those damn Soyuz capsules.
Well,
just in case.
The big news is they turned it into a whodunit. Who drilled the hole? Was it a sabotage? And I don't know whatever came of that, but
they said a piece of space debris hit it at 15,000 miles an hour.
But there's evidence to suggest that somebody bore a hole into it.
The Russians.
Now they don't know if it happened while it was on board or if it happened during the shipping, but something's happened and the hole's in it. But it was such a small hole, though, that it's enough to like make you be like, man, it ain't gonna take much for space to fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Space just isn't anywhere I'm super interested in venturing into.
Whenever you see one of our shuttles fucking blow up because a little piece of tile broke off the wing or off the top and hit the wing, and it was just like boom, like goddamn, like killed everybody instantly. Like when you see that shuttle having that kind of malfunction, have you seen the fucking Soyuz capsule?
No.
God damn, dude, it's like a fucking tin can, man. Like it's the Russian. That's the only way we can get up and down now. Russia. We're paying every time we have to send someone up there, we have to pay Russia an ungodly amount of money. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. They're like, nobody else can go up. Like, we got to get a rocket. We're working on one. I will say this: the last time they were working on the budget, they're giving
badass to watch.
They're giving NASA good money now.
Well, have you seen the launches that have been going on to where they've been launching the Falcon rockets and they can land like
Elon Musk?
They'll go up. Yes. Like
yeah, that's very impressive. It's like, it makes sense. It's like, that's where all the money, we were losing money because we would launch a rocket and like half of that bitch would fall into the ocean. Like, okay, next.
Yeah.
That's just it. Like, no, Elon was like, we got to reuse them. We launch it and it can land like, and it landed on a fucking oil platform in the fucking middle of an ocean.
I wonder where the major problems for the reusable aspect come into play. Is it
wear and tear?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you'd get so many missions out of it, and then you'd have to decommission
well, I mean, is it to the point where the structural integrity can only handle entering the atmosphere X amount of time?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've seen that rocket take off and then land on its own back, like standing up. We've seen that.
I don't know what would be more terrifying, guys. Leaving a planet or entering its atmosphere?
Entering the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Leaving because you have more fuel.
Yeah.
Way more. Coming back, you wouldn't have as much. But going out,
yeah,
it's a big old bomb, boys. Like,
it's scary.
It's a big bomb.
I feel like re-entry would be more terrifying because, whereas, sure, it's just as dangerous with all the fuel, but when you're entering the atmosphere for that brief moment,
you're a fucking meteor.
You're in a fireball.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's intense to watch stuff like that.
That's my thing about that rocket, though. We've seen it take off and we've seen it land, but it hasn't gone to space yet and come back and then land. Like, what's that going to do to it?
Right.
When it punches through and then it comes back, what's that going to do to the rocket? Like, how you going to land that bitch? Like, I think that's why they tested it with the car, right? He was using the car as just a way to test the rocket, like it was a payload.
Well, how you can't blame him for that. People were,
he got more hits than the fucking Red Bull fucking Felix. Was it Felix Baumgartner? Was his name?
Yeah, whatever.
Jump.
Yeah.
I watched that live. That was crazy. Well, I say live. There was probably a good 2-minute delay.
I watched it both times. Remember the first time he went up there and they canceled it because something happened?
A little windy or something. There was something.
Yeah. I think we were on Skype that morning.
Something like that. Yeah, we were talking, and it's probably recorded.
Yeah.
If you join our Patreon, I have over 100 hours.
Patreon.com.
And don't judge us because these are private conversations, but right? Scratch that.
Yeah.
We'll pay you not to listen to them.
Yeah. That's how no. I don't know though. It would be all right though. Like if in a couple of years.
It's not going to be long. The people have already purchased the tickets to go up. The first commercial.
Yeah.
Orbit flight. They've already bought their tickets. There's some Chinese guy that bought a ticket. There's a few other people they purchased tickets and they want to go up into orbit.
Would you do it?
Oh man, I would do it if it's been going on for a long time and they've done a lot of flights.
Like 10 years?
Yeah, but not the first one.
You wouldn't do the first one?
No.
What if they well, all right, let's
the first one, the first time they send this bitch up with people in it.
If they paid for me to go and I got
it's a very pricey ticket.
Well, if I also got something,
you would be the guy that was on the first commercial flight to space.
Yeah, but
that's something, dude. That's history.
Yeah, but I want some compensation.
Yeah, you come back and I got space dick.
Yeah. What if you come back and you can't get your dick hard anymore?
Do you guys know about morning wood in space?
No one can hear you breathe?
No. A lot of the astronauts on the space station would talk about the morning wood and how painful it was.
Right.
So when you get morning wood, eventually gravity's going to take effect and it's going to start, drooping on back down. And it doesn't happen, dude. There's no gravity. Don't droop.
So
instead of Viagra, they just need to put you on the space station.
And then you'll just get super hard?
You're rock hard, dude.
So is
space dick.
Is not being able to get it up have something to do with gravity and like blood flow, blood pressure.
That's the thing is when blood goes into it, doesn't come back out. Like you have to. I'm like, shit. That's why they always send a chick up there.
So yeah,
but they complained about it. That was very
it
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine so. I mean, once it gets up, then it's not going to go back down
for a while.
Yeah, so
you gotta like burn it with on the tip with a match or something.
Jesus Christ!
But when you do that, draw up inside of you like what dick? Space dick.
Well, I mean,
that's true though.
The space dick.
I'm not making that up.
What causes fucking erectile dysfunction?
Oh, I actually saw something about this one time. It's like any muscle.
It gets
it does.
Wore out.
Yeah, you used it too much. It's because it expands, goes down. It's up. I mean 1,000 times in your lifetime, maybe more, depending on who you are.
Yeah,
and it just after a while it can't. Plus, a lot of older men are on like blood thinners.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Heart medication.
Right.
That has an effect. But I did see something where they're like, it's just like any muscle. The more you use it, you start wearing out over time.
If
I was like, no.
If they had the ability to like, how they can.
Would you rather be bald or would you rather your dick not work?
I would rather be
bald as fuck, dude. But, I'll fucking look just like fucking Howie Mandel. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Bald head with a soul patch.
If they could 3D print you a dick and give you a dick like
the dick of my choosing.
Yeah, like you design it.
Oh, it's gonna be the prettiest dick ever.
You pull up the app on the computer, the 3D modeling app, and you
buildadick.com.
Yeah, and then you can have yours cut off and it attached to you. To keep it going.
Is it real?
That way, yeah, you don't have to keep taking it. They grew the human ear.
Okay, yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. They like stem cells and shit, and they grow it on like a baby's back or something.
Yeah, well,
this baby comes out with a big floppy dick hanging off its back. Cut that off.
I ain't going that far away.
I mean,
but, they developed these printers that
be careful. That took 9 months to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you do it though? Like if you were older and you were having to either take.
Is this something they've been doing for years? It's like it happens daily. Like I don't want to be like experimental phase. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be like patient zero.
Yeah.
Hope it works. They've done it before. They've put dicks back on.
But this is a whole new 3D printed dick.
You guys know who Lorena Bobbitt is?
Oh yeah,
John Bobbitt.
Yeah, he became a porn star after that shit.
She cut his dick off,
and
threw it out the window of a moving car, and they recovered the dick and put it back on his body.
It had a black eye, Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he became a porn star after.
Did he?
Yeah, I remember watching that when I was a kid.
The porn?
And no,
I remember like when it happened.
Yeah, and I was like, "What? A woman can cut your dick off?"
Yeah. I think he tried to send it up the poop chute, right? He tried to hit the rusty sheriff's badge. I think that's what happened.
I thought he was fucking somebody else.
Nah, I think he from what I remember, I'm a little bit older. I don't know, could be wrong, but he tackled the sheriff's badge, and she didn't like it, and when he fell asleep, she hacked it off.
I mean, is it really worth that? I mean, I know it hurts.
Depends on
but is it worth all that?
How bad you want it? Like, no, not for me. But they put it back on. I mean, you got to pat yourself on the back. It's like, I just put this guy's dick back on.
But at that point, it'll never be the same, though.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's like crooked or something. Maybe it probably looks like a spiral.
I mean,
Probably. Yeah. Now, have you seen this porn? Just to see just to see if the dick's normal.
No, I haven't.
He's like, rub my scar. It feels good. You know, like something.
Get the fuck out of here.
Scar play.
Yeah, that's a whole new fucking genre.
Yeah, scar play. Weird. Travis, what were you talking about earlier? Wait, he's gone. Him or be back. You got any space talk?
Who, me?
Yeah. You interested in space?
Like going there, or
I just like it's like, what is it? You know, like here's what blows my mind. This is what blows my mind when it comes to space.
All right.
When they're like, it's infinite.
Well,
I'm like,
it's
what do you mean infinite?
And it's too much to comprehend.
It goes forever. I'm like, no, there is no forever. Everything ends. And it's like, not space.
Yeah. Well, it's just too much,
dude. It's like it's too much. You can't even fathom it.
No, and whenever I try
we don't understand forever.
No.
We don't get forever. Like that's something.
Yeah.
None of us will be here forever, but space, it's forever.
Yeah.
I think that space, like I'm not saying there's somebody that hits a reset button. Whatever, like, you know, I don't know, trillion years, something crazy. You know,
yeah.
Just some number that's, that's not even real.
Yeah.
It just like resets, man. Like, it's all been here before. That's not the first rodeo. Like,
right.
We don't even understand how long it's been here. And then here's the thing, like, the fuck did it come from?
I don't know, man.
There was a big bang. It's like, yeah, but where did it come from? Where did it all come from?
I can't believe there's a full-blown multiverse theory at this point, like, to where people accept it, you know?
I have to give credit on something. Think about this, guys. I was talking about space one night with Jackson.
Oh, God.
You know, we were feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
On a couple different things. And he said something that I was just like, damn, you're right. All right. Everything is going away from the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when a bomb goes off, everything goes out.
Yeah.
How do galaxies collide if we're all going out from the same point? Where are they fucking coming from?
I think we're all traveling at different speeds, right?
Yeah, but when a galaxy collide, it'll like, we get sideswiped by one. Like, where's that coming from?
Well, you got to think about it this way, too. And, of course, I am no fucking scientist, so I'm not going to have it as elegant as someone more qualified.
No, don't. Just give it to me.
But, all right. So, first off, you got to really wrap your mind around the idea that from Big Bang to now is almost an eternal amount of time as it, you know what I mean?
It's forever.
From our perception, it is forever. But the period from the Big Bang to now, where the universe and all the particles went from being all supercharged and just everything was hot. As it cooled down, matter started to form. The more common stages of matter and stuff like carbon, shit like that, all started coming together to start creating planets, different forms of shit, That's when things started to kind of get a little interesting. Well, as that's happening and shit keeps going over the aeons, as these different masses form, they all create their own pool of gravity. So while we are, while the scientists claim that we're moving away from the center of where the Big Bang would be,
the center of the universe,
everything else is acquiring its own gravity, and we're just kind of it's what's pulling everything in myriad directions.
But is it possible that there was another Big Bang in another part of the universe? I mean, this can't be the only one.
I mean, I love taking like YouTube dives where more qualified people can answer these types of questions. But I watched recently the interview with Brian Cox that he had on the Joe Rogan podcast. It was pretty interesting, and he went on about the idea of the eternal universe, where it's just always been here.
It's always been here, dude.
And it's just
I believe
it'll
never
get
go
big.
away.
And also the theories that
it resets.
Space keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And I don't know. It was an interesting talk. I like hearing scientists.
But where is it?
Break shit down.
Where are we? What is this? You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
That's a deeper.
Just think about that. When you think about space, there's been many times I've been staring at a fucking computer screen, mouth breathing, and I'm just like, but where the fuck are we? The fuck is this, man? And that's why when people are like, when they start that computer simulation shit, I'm like, that makes more sense than this has always been here.
Yeah.
I think, though, that just helps you because you can understand that. It's like, oh, it was programmed.
Well, those crazy, yeah, exactly. Those theories like that and everything from various religions and all of that crap.
But when someone's like, it's always been here and it always will be.
Well, I mean, humans have a beginning and an end, so when
we don't understand that
about what eternity,
it's hard
means,
to break that down.
Like we can understand that it's really large, but we still, even at that point, we don't grasp it.
One time, someone said to me that the Earth was 6,000 years old, and I laughed at him. Not just a little laugh. I was like, ha, 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 like.
Yeah.
Like, are you really? What about the dinosaurs? What about them? You don't know if those are real. Like,
there's bones and shit.
I mean, carbon dating is pretty fucking, it's on point. Like, we can dig down into the earth and we can date shit. I mean, like, we find leaves and shit all the time from like 10 billion years ago. Like,
I like reading all those crazy theories about how life has thrived over and over again on this planet.
I believe that.
We've had all these different civilizations come and go, and they'll get either destroyed by they're usually destroyed by a natural disaster or something. A meteor's hit or some sort of.
And then it's got to reset. It's got to start over and do it again. Mother Nature always finds a way. If we learn anything from fucking Jurassic Park.
Well, the one thing that really had my head hurting, and it wasn't because I didn't understand it, but it was just, why did I not come to that conclusion sooner? Why did it take me this long to finally be like, oh, okay, and read about this theory and all this, that, and the other? Because it seems very common sense once it's explained, where I'm getting at is, it was I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory, but it was a scientific questioning where, the idea of tectonic plates on our planet and how our continents look now, and how, like the Pangea thing, where billions of years ago, the continents were all in one big mass,
just one big land mass.
And over the course of Earth's lifespan, the surface has looked different through the billions and billions of years. And
well, it's like at one point, this was like a fucking just a big ball of water, right?
Well,
that landmass was created by volcanoes.
Yeah,
the super volcanoes.
The thing that I read that I thought was interesting was it was an Atlantis theory, and it was the idea that Atlantis was a fucking island, continent, whatever you want to call it. And
but Atlantis could have been before the landmass was here. It was just a water planet. Like,
well, it existed like fish people. Well, the theory is that it existed it existed in more of like the middle of the planet, like where the equator is.
Yeah.
And as the land masses have moved and, time's done its thing, that landmass is now Antarctica.
Which you're not allowed to go to.
And
You got to get the
Like
permits.
it's the frozen,
you got to put the
it's
paperwork
the frozen Atlantis theory or something like that. It's really it's a fun read. Definitely not saying like, oh man, go and have your mind blown. But it's just really interesting.
Instead of putting all this money, I mean, dude, I've read numbers that NASA's getting like $57 million a day. Okay, that's some big numbers, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah. It depends on which administration, but
yeah,
right now they're getting big money, which I think is important. Don't fuck our space program. All those guys, they didn't die for nothing. We're working towards something. If the humans want to stick around, you got to get off this motherfucker. We all can't get off of it, but we can get a few off, and hopefully they can, make some little space brats. And I don't know where that's gonna go, but
some space bitches.
Yeah, but why don't we explore Antarctica? Why aren't we out there like scanning that ice to see what's in it? And dude, for like hundreds of miles, it's just this big ass piece of fucking ice, dude.
Well, they don't want us to know what's out there,
and we don't know what's in
it. There's pyramids under it, right?
We got no idea what's in that motherfucking piece of ice. Every now and then, we'll find a woolly mammoth. Y'all remember the woolly mammoth they found? Frozen, solid, like it died yesterday?
Yeah.
And they were talking about cloning. They were talking about taking that woolly mammoth DNA and mixing it with an elephant DNA, which, I mean, come on, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, let's be real.
And make a fucking grow one. I'm like, yes. Yes. Like, let me ride the mammoth.
You'd ride the mammoth?
I would pet it. I'd braid its hair.
You wouldn't be afraid it'd fuck you up?
It would be like friendly with people.
It looks like it'd take a lot of fucking maintenance to keep that thing.
I bet it gets a lot of dingleberries.
Yeah, I mean,
you just imagine all the shit balls matted up at its asshole in that hair, like.
No.
And they're like, that's a defense mechanism, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, I want to see who's the guy that comes on that does the animals. What's his name? Something. Jack something.
Jack.
He's been coming on the Tonight Show doing the animals for fucking 20 or 30 years. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's not Jack LaLanne, because that's the guy that was strong and had the blender videos. Jack something. Jack Hanna.
Yeah. Jack Caraway.
Don't y'all want to see Jack Hanna come on the Tonight Show with a fucking woolly mammoth? Like, this is a woolly mammoth.
I don't think they could get it in the building.
And it kills everyone in the fucking audience. Like, I don't know. We have the technology. Y'all remember Dolly? The clone sheep?
Yeah.
Y'all know that when we found out about that sheep, that motherfucker had been alive for like 10 or 15 years.
That's crazy.
Y'all know that?
What about that sheep that was producing spider?
I remember that. They were like, it's like the strongest shit. It's stronger than Kevlar.
Yeah.
They said it could stop bullets.
What happened to that shit?
They stopped talking about it.
I mean,
it turned into Spider Goat and started doing all kinds of weird shit. They had to shut it down. Like, it turned into a real Venom fucking situation. Like,
they crossed a goat with some spider DNA and made a goat that creates spider web. Yeah.
Did y'all see the movie Splice?
No.
I don't recommend splicing.
Yeah.
It didn't end well for fucking Straight Jacket. What's his name? Big Nose. I can't think of his name.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah, it didn't end well for him.
Yeah.
Shit got weird. He fucked it. He fucked the spliced thing. It's almost like they spliced it with like a damn. What's that thing from Alien?
A Xenomorph?
Yeah. It was almost like they spliced a human with that.
That's fucking weird.
We've been splicing. If there's anyone, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in one of those Chinese laboratories, because they're the ones doing it.
Yeah.
We won't do it. We'll do a little bit here. We're like, that's too far. Wind it back a bit, But in China, they're like, fuck it. Yeah. Splice it with everything. They got frog people. They're fucking splicing frogs with bunny rabbits and shit, making frog rabbits. Like,
Is that where the gay frogs come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
So back to what we were saying at the very top of everything.
At the beginning.
Before you hit record.
Yeah, what were you going to go into? You were muted a minute ago. Bring it up.
If we're to believe the Solar Warden conspiracy, which supposedly got exposed by that NASA.
What year?
It happened, well, I mean,
is this old news? Or is this new news? Well, or is this fake news?
Kind of old news, but it's recent news. Like, it happened several years ago. But there was a big leak of information. Some of those were NASA. Like, somebody hacked into it. Some guy got arrested over in the UK.
So someone actually went to jail for these documents.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's kind of hard to shit on that.
And in the documents, it exposed a program called Solar Warden. Now, the conspiracy theory people have ran rampant with it to the point where essentially it's when Roswell happened, we got reverse tech. We've built our own fleet of ships at this point now. They're stationed out in our solar system. And they are the reason why we haven't been hit by a gigantic fucking asteroid. They're the reason why
they're like the space cops.
Well, they sound stupid, but they essentially protect the solar system as a habitat, I guess.
Right.
But back to the whole faking of the alien invasion. Like, for anyone that's just now listening to this shit, we were talking about some crazy shit before Adam hit record.
It's not crazy, but Warner Von Braun said it. Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there.
But I feel like you were leaving as you said that. Like, you were about to close the door. Like Warner Von Braun said that.
Yeah.
He said it.
He did say that, though.
But I don't know. For a while there, I took the alien dive.
I've been taking it for like fucking 15 years,
I went
man.
The deepest I ever went with an
balls
alien.
Deep.
Like, oh man, came up across this thing about the thing called the Yellow Book.
Ooh.
And it's this tech. We obviously have this alien thing, but it's like a yellow iPad. That's the best way that it explains it. It's like a tablet.
Is that where the cell phone came from?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, when you look at it, it scans you, and somehow it knows what you are, what you think, what your language and shit is that you speak with. It finds that language, deciphers its information, and it's just this infinite. It's this infinite scroll. But here's the thing: when you look away from it and you break eye contact, since they don't know how to use it because it's alien, they don't know how to go back. Like, they don't know how to save their spot. So every time they go and look at it, it starts right from the top, and they have to go through every fucking bit of it again.
We need to use a computer.
And the longest is that supposedly has went for it was like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so if you take a nap and come back, you got to pick your spot up. So we don't know how to bookmark.
No.
Yeah, but the stuff that they were able to get out of it was that we
hadn't even scratched the surface then.
This goes deep into the idea that we've made contact. We've already talked to people. There's been human exchange programs where we've sent people to their planet. We've kept some of theirs here. This is some crackpot level shit.
Right.
But
I'm with it though.
But anyways, but just look it up, man. The Yellow Book.
Is the book? Is it really yellow?
Just keyword the Yellow Book alien or some shit like that. You'll find it in some form
I've been
or another.
looking at alien shit for years. I've never heard about this. This is some new shit to me. I know I'm not going to bed tonight, you know?
The thing with the thing that I'd read was or the way the book was explained or the information they have from it was that their belief of their science and our science, we've achieved similar conclusions. Like they know what they have, their iteration of the Big Bang. they have their version of, you know, things that we know as like elements and shit like that. Like there's comparisons they were able to make, even though they come from a completely different evolutionary chain and stuff. And how we sent, like, this was either the greatest fan fiction or sci-fi short story ever read that never got published, or the guy that this whole fucking detailed thing was it was gnarly, man. I read this thing for like a week. It was so much content. But we sent some fuckers over there if we're gonna suspend disbelief and assume that this shit happened. It's the aliens are called the Zetas, I think. But pretty much what happened was in Roswell, ship crashed. Like one of them died, one of them didn't die.
We brought him in for questioning.
We brought him in and we let him phone home and establish communication with their planet and ours. And it took like so many months. So he would send messages, we'd wait, they'd send them back. And they pretty much had, they sent their coordinates, all this shit. So it was really cool. Strange.
Maybe.
Like pretty much the events that went down in Close Encounters, essentially, like, this is on the idea that movie was kind of like a nudge, wink, disclosure movie.
Yeah,
like
Illuminati,
hey,
Freemason shit.
This might have happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
so they like music.
I didn't read anything on that. Like the thing that I saw is that they sent like 4 or 5 people to their planet, and they left 1 or 2 people here. And there was some shit went down while those were here because there was 2 different ones. Because they had logs talking about incidents where it got to where they couldn't trust the ones in captivity because they started talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them got the fuck out and they ended up killing him as he got to the gate to get out. And the other one, they don't trust him because after that went down, that dude got really, like, that creature got really weird on us.
Well, of course.
While the humans were on the other planet, what happened
to our people?
In their log, because they had like a captain's log thing going on. In his log, one of them got sick on the planet. Like, some shit happened and it fucked with him, and he died of natural causes.
He got space flu.
Well, they were trying to explain to that race how humans revere the dead and how they treat, how they bury them and stuff like that. Well, they kept stalling them for days and shit. And when they finally got through to him and all this stuff, turns out they had already took his body and pretty much did what we would do to them. Started cutting it up and figuring out how we worked.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got really strange. So that's
why they didn't want to hand it over, because it was spliced up.
Well, like, they came back. Yeah. And apparently, like it's one of those things that it's such an intriguing read that occasionally you step back and you go, this is bullshit.
This shit can't be real.
This is bullshit. But it was written and presented in such a way that it kept my ass captivated for a week straight.
It used to be a movie. Let's make that movie called The Yellow Book.
Let's do it. Oh my God, I'm down.
We got to look into it, Griffin.
Let's do it.
Real Estate presents Yellow Book.
Well, what made it creepy, what supported it, was at the same time I was reading on that, was when I was reading into Solar Warden. And it fits in perfectly because from the time we started getting tech from them in this one story's case, it lined up perfectly with the amount of time that would pass
with
for
actual
us to
NASA files.
Well, the only thing, as far as truth to that file, the only thing that made
Solar Warden.
It's called Solar Warden.
To me, when I hear that, we've been trying to weaponize space since Reagan, right? Or
Right.
really since, I guess you could say, JFK.
Yeah.
Because whoever can weaponize space has got the jump on everyone.
Yeah.
The time that it takes to nuke a motherfucker from space is like, shit, dude. When you got to send a nuke from fucking Las Vegas to Russia, it's going to take a little bit. They'll shoot it down.
The solar warden thing on the NASA file breaks down that there is like
what a cool
four or five ships.
It's a fucking
20
movie,
to
dude.
27 transfer vessels.
So big ships.
And up to 500 off planet some name, like they use the name to imply that it's people. You know what I mean?
What the fuck are we doing up there?
Protecting Earth.
Why won't they tell us about it though?
Well, here's the thing. I think Solar Warden is like plain obvious. Like I think they're keeping what we perceive as the solar system the way like intact. Like we're trying to augment our
Pluto would argue
system.
that, but
like we're trying to augment it to where we can keep some sort of like prevent things that would
that would wipe out fucking humans.
Well, that would change the topography of planets, the way they work, the way they're keeping in perfect harmony to let life sustain itself on Earth. On the cosmic scale, I guess.
Let me throw something at you guys real quick, okay?
All right.
So right now, set something in front of you. You got something sitting in front of you, and that's the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So right now, I'm in front of the sun, and the front of my body, it's daytime. Back of my body's nighttime. So we're moving around that sun, okay? Moving around it. How come the stars look the same, like no matter where we're at around this thing?
Because of the way that light, the way light
like even
travels.
when we get to the backside of the sun 6 months from now, you can look up and it's the same. You can see every planet exactly, but it's weird that all the planets are on the same. I mean, how is one not on the other side or one's not over here? It's like we're all on the same fucking road to fucking burning up.
Space is so big, man. Like humans are good at taking really large concepts and the like all of that and making it very small and very like we're like we digest it down to, we can digest it down.
What are we like 93 million miles away from it? Something like that.
Our brains process information to where we can go, okay, Earth is really far from the sun, but
but at the same time we're only 3 planets away. So like it's big.
So that we can say that, hey, we have these next door, but it's still an ungodly amount of distance between.
What is it? 6 to 9 months from Mars?
Yeah.
And that's wide open.
Months to years to other planets.
Well, I mean, from what they say, we don't want to go to any other ones because they're like.
We'll think about it like this:
we have one planet that'll crush you. The gravity will just crush your ass.
We have Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 that are leaving our solar system in 2 different locations.
Actually, a few months back, one broke through interstellar space.
Now
the fucking. Now, does that mean that it left our galaxy?
It means it has left our sun's gravitational pull.
With the coordinates to Earth.
Yeah.
It's got a record on it. It's got a song. It's got clips and, YouTube videos.
like sound. Well, no, I mean it's got sounds of Earth.
Yeah, and then it's also got where we're at on it. Now, why would they put that? It's like a business card. Like, look how smart we are. Find us.
It would be really scary if, like, say, let's entertain a solution to the Fermi paradox.
We sent a fucking time capsule into space.
So, one of the answers to the Fermi paradox is something called the super predator. And what it is there's a single civilization that achieved the top 3 civilization.
So they can move their planet?
They can they can harness their fucking galaxy.
Like so they can drive it around like a fucking car.
They are gods. They would be gods to us. Like they would be crazy.
I think we've reached like level 1. We can control our weather.
We're like most of the stuff. If you go deep diving on the internet, most of the scientists that get interviewed about it on the scale is that we're at around 0.7 or 0.8. Like we're there. In the next 100 years, we'll become a top 1. Top 1 means you control your planet's energy. You have a global economy. Everybody's united. There's like,
could a level 3 be that star we were looking at a while back that was like it's got a structure.
They thought it might have a Dyson sphere on it.
Something going on. It was.
Yeah. Well,
it was something.
The way that scale works is that top 1 is like if to
control your planet.
For layman's terms, I'll use like entertainment as an explanation. Top 1.
Thank you.
Top 1 were Star Trek. Top 2 were Star Wars. Top 2 were Buck Rogers or something like that. I'm going on Michio Kaku's explanation of it. Top 3 is pretty much like Star Wars.
Like we're the shit.
Like we can warp, we control, but you can also look at it as we go from controlling our planet to controlling our star to controlling our solar system.
I believe the only way we're going to be able to achieve this shit is to like the ships are going to have to be run off. We're going to have to nuke them, dude. They got to be run off like the dangerous shit. We need nuclear power, man.
You can take a
fucking what is the shit that's in the what is the shit in you can take something the size of a marble.
Here's the thing. Here's how far away we are from that. From just barely
fossil fuels ain't gonna do it, dog.
Well, no, here's the thing for me. It's gonna take a positive enforced globalism that acknowledges
how important it is that we get off this motherfucker that's 3 rocks away from fucking hell.
That acknowledges diversity, all of that acknowledges every nook and cranny.
Religion's got to go.
Human experience. Well, no, it's not going to go, man.
It's got to go.
You can't do that. You can't do that. But what you can do is honor its place amongst
even the Vatican
humanity's existence, so that it can,
Even the Vatican recognizes.
But that's what makes it.
There may be intelligent life out there.
That's what makes this shit so radical for today's thinking, because right now we're in the middle of everyone rejecting globalism.
Now we all got to work together.
But I mean, but I think it's more of a.
I'm not talking a one world government, open borders, but we got to work together.
Usually, it's meaning that you finally achieve a one world currency.
What was that movie?
A one world
communication
system and a one world distribution of information, which we've got 2 of those 3.
What was the movie with the squids?
And I'm not really sure.
What was that movie? You remember where the aliens show up and they're like, y'all got to work together to fix a problem that's going to happen in the future?
Oh, Arrival.
That's what we got to do. We got to work together.
Like, I don't know, man.
You don't think we need to work together? You don't think we need those motherfucking Asian motherfuckers crunching numbers for us?
what I think we need
human
to do.
Calculators.
I think every country is stupid if they don't invest their time and money, or at least some of their time and money, into a unified space program. That's your globalism. Almost like
not just a space station where you got
almost how we use elected officials. We have the right people for the right job.
So we need like
right
a space UN.
Like no, we need a group of people that's going to represent humanity in the space front.
That's not military, because every time military rolls up on something, they're like, let's cut it up and see how it works. Maybe we can use it. It's like, no, wait.
And I think that's also...
This ain't Halliburton, motherfucker.
I think it's also how we'll naturally expand into space. Because...
we have to get off this
Because it's not gonna be suddenly all the conflict in the Middle East stops. All the conflict between all the various nations on whatever sort of level, that's not going to stop.
Never.
So it's going to be a way of containing it on Earth and letting those things.
We can't let it spread. If
they
let these fucking
out colonizing and stuff.
If they let these fucking Muslims, the bad Muslims, not talking about all Muslims, I'm talking about, was it the Shiite Muslims? If they let these motherfuckers spread to Mars, we won't have a problem, because they're going to be fucking... They're going to be making potato bombs and shit.
Our generation, I think, is giving birth to the people that are going to grow up, that's going to figure out how to get the fuck out of here.
Ain't nobody going to laugh at that potato bomb on Mars. Come on, guys.
I'm deep in this.
A potato bomb. You know what I'm talking about.
Reading this shit. I love reading stuff like this.
I know that we have to get off this planet, and I know that, dude, the only thing holding us back is religion. We're all still fighting over. We're all still fighting over whose God's the real God. Well, at the end of the day, we need to call it quits. When you say, "Look, you can have your God. We've got our God. They have their God. Let's just." That's cool.
What I'm saying, man. Like we gotta be able to have it to where all those things can exist, but in harmony. And it sounds hippie and stupid as fuck, but it's the truth.
It'll never happen. Will it?
No, maybe not in our lifetime.
No, we're all doomed, man. Like we're gonna stay here.
No, dude, I got Netflix and.
Well, back to what you were saying earlier, Adam. It's something that is gonna.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like fucking The Watchmen.
It's gonna wake us up.
There's gonna have to be something that unifies everyone, and that's gonna have to be a disaster. Because think back to Vice.
A meteor.
Whenever we watched Vice, right? You see from all the news reports and everything that those terrorist attacks.
We need a
global
9/11.
Yeah, a global 9/11. That's fucked up to say, but
it is fucked up true. Because in 9/11 there was like 3,000 people that died.
This is going to be
global 9/11 will fucking wipe out like half the fucking population.
Well, back to what Adam was saying.
Us. Adam's been making a lot of good points.
So, Solar Warden's going to show up, pretend to be aliens, and attack shit.
That's what we need.
And that's what's going to put us in space. I hate to say that.
I hate to, because I may be one of the people that go. But I'll say this, guys. If I'm one of the motherfuckers that has to go, it's worth it.
But, you also got to think, too, this whole thing is a product of what happens when you grow up pre and post 9/11, enough to where you can retain knowledge of how life was before that and life after.
9/11 really did change everything, didn't it?
It was that, man. That's a point in time, dude.
It changed everything.
Like if someone's going to time travel, they're probably going to go fix that.
Yeah.
Can't fix that though, man, because it'll fuck everything up. That had to happen.
It'll undo everything.
This sucks. We needed it. I mean, it had to happen.
Well, and that goes back to if you want to look at the conspiracy theory side of everything, it's like, yeah, it kind of needed to happen. So was it premeditated
I think it was.
on the part of the,
I think we had a well. You
tell,
remember when Obama was in office? They actually released some documents that said that Saudi Arabia was involved in it, and they spent money on it, and
yeah,
it changed the world forever. And not just here; it like changed the world in other countries.
yeah,
I mean, it was like a damn one hell of a snowball effect. Like,
yeah.
it snowballed the hell out of this bitch. But so we need a global 9/11. Wait, guys, like 9/11 was just a test.
But can we? I mean, but do you think that we can avoid that?
No,
Oh man, not if that's what they want.
no.
You don't genuinely think that, because we're thinking by
dude,
the time these decisions need to be made or have already
man.
been made. No, man, just hear me
But
out.
you're talking to me, you're talking to Griffin. Go to Walmart and just like hang out for a little while. That's the people that need it. Like,
or turn on the news.
Yeah, there you go. The news, like they're trying to fuck with those people. It's not us, because we see something, we're like, we get it. Like, yeah, okay. but they have to, like, it's the sheeple, dude.
It's the people that are on both sides of the whole political argument that are extremists on both sides. These are the people that need to wake up and realize our position.
They're brainwashed
in the world. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
One day, 9/11 happened, and the day after that, every motherfucker in this country was like, "What are we gonna do about it?"
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah,
I think
it worked. I think that was a test. They were like, 9/11 worked, so when we have this alien attack, that's what we need. And I did air quote, alien attack.
Where a lot of this.
Then everyone will come together and they'll be like, yes, we need that. We need a one world alien fucking government thing. Like, that's what it's going to take, dude. I kind of hope they do it. Like,
for me, man, is that maybe it's not wanting to admit it, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, denial. But what's the best way to put it? I'm sorry. I believe that the powers that be are cold enough to do things and allow things to happen.
For the greater of,
But I think there's a level of honesty with some of the things that are publicly known or accepted as fact.
We probably won't be here when this happens, because we still need time. Yeah, but they have managed with cell phones and social media and YouTube and everything that we have. It's been going on with the birth of the internet. They've been slowly brainwashing everybody and turning their brain into fucking mush. Like, whatever we tell you you're going to do, that's what you're going to do, because we're in control.
We are close to top one in the fact that we do have global communication, cell phones. We have global information distribution, which is the internet.
We can control our weather. We can make tornadoes. We can make it rain.
I mean, and in a way, we do have a currency, and it's just whichever economy is faring the best.
Bitcoin.
Whichever one is worth the most. Yeah,
it's dollar.
Yeah, that's an even greater.
It's dollar, man. Right now, it's dollar. Oil trades in U.S. dollars, and the last motherfucker that was like, "Wait a minute, why don't we use gold?" died. Gaddafi. He came out. He was at a UN speech, not a UN, G20 summit, and he was like, "Fuck the dollar. We need to trade barrels of oil and gold." 6 months later, his ass was on camera on his knees with a pistol in his mouth, like begging for his life. And we'll do that to anyone else that fucking says that shit. Like,
Yeah.
We found, you know, like we went into Libya. We had no fucking business doing that shit, man. But if another motherfucker says that, dude, if fucking Putin said that, he's not gonna say it because he knows what's up. We'd be up there knocking on his door in a heartbeat. We'd turn the world against them. I already don't trust Russia and China, but at the end of the day, there's 3 mega powers here: Russia, China, America. We're gonna have to triangulate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And work fucking together.
Yeah.
And if not, then just blow this motherfucker up. Because it's a waste. Like, wasting our time. Fuck American Idol. I don't even know if it's a show anymore.
It'll happen. I mean, like I said, it probably might not happen during our lifetime, but
it will happen. I wish I could see it.
We'll see. We'll definitely see the cracks form.
We'll see it. Yeah, the build up to the breakdown. But we won't be here when that bass drop hits. Boom.
Well, I mean, you know, I was talking about it with Corey the other day, and he had mentioned the cyclical nature of civilization, pretty much how, you know, society's born out of necessity. Necessity breeds content. Content creates a slowdown, and then something has to happen again to cause shit to get real again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're part of a group of generations now that have grown up in that in a sense of contentment. I'm not disregarding that life isn't fucking hard, because it's life. You know what I mean? But with that said,
it was designed to be hard.
The thing that's gonna, but for what we're talking about, what's gonna have to happen is some shit's gonna have to happen to get us to like an event,
some
almost
bad
like
shit, dude. Real bad shit.
Like a metaphorical meteor's got to hit to cause the reboot,
or an alien threat.
Or where I'm getting at though is that I think that event, although it may not be our generation, but definitely the ones to come, though, it's going to be the process of getting rid of the people that are in our institutions running things, and getting people in there with our mindset, not our specifically, but you know, the ideas of how we think the world works.
You're right. We need people with our mindset controlling. Have you talked to kids? Have you spent any time with them? They'll do whatever you throw at them. They'll, if you got any, you know what I'm saying? They're about that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's
so when you got us in there in the pilot seat controlling them, shit, it's gonna be a breeze. But right now we're dealing with these fucking dinosaurs,
because
dude. They gotta go.
Well, I mean, think about when most of these politicians were growing up in the 60s and 70s, man. All the free thinkers and all these people, for good or for bad, who were into more or less hippie style culture. That's what most people, I mean, that'd be your first stepping stone on digging deeper into that. These are the people that we've elected into office now. Do you think you think their worldview is going to change just because they're an elected official? No, they're running because of what they believe in. And that's the fine print I think a lot of people don't look into, or I know I certainly didn't for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in the fucking educational system that taught me how, you know, when you're a politician, things are serious, and that's that. But when you look further and start, like, you know, looking into just how wielding power over other human beings work, it's
easy.
It's scary, man.
With the right kind of people.
It is scarier than anything Stephen King or George A. Romero or any other horror icon could put together, man.
It's just all part of the bigger plan. There's a big plan here. We've been the people before us and the people before them, they've all been setting up for it. We're all headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
Something will happen, though, on like a global scale from space.
I think it'll be like everything else that happens in history, man. It'll be a big event for those perceiving it, but it's the ripple effect that's gonna have the that's where the real change is.
It's almost like
it's just gonna be how everything progresses from whatever event that is going to happen.
9/11 was like the trial run, just to see.
It's gonna be whether or not things get as extreme as it feels like they're heading.
And then when we get there, when everything's popping off, Dick Cheney in a fucking glass tube, his head, he's just like, rah, 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 you know.
Well, see, and when you take a step back from thinking about this shit, you realize that like our neighbors, none of us, as far as I'm aware, could give a fuck about harming one another for what we believe in. Like I'm pretty sure my views are different from probably I'm sure there's things we all have in common, but it's such a mixture that it's nothing that's going to be like, oh man, like it's never going to come to blows with the community which everyone lives in.
Yeah.
Now I say that with an asterisk because that's to my next point. It's insane how these small clusters of people that have caused infighting and they fuck with each other on both sides of their political ideologies, and the ripple effects from that and how that changes things.
Yeah.
To a point where we have someone who is elected as president and a campaign that, as far as, the news and what social media shows you when you look at it, it's dividing like families, friendships, like things on a very personal level that wouldn't have happened 20 years ago. And maybe it did, but it's certainly not broadcasted on the level that this recent one has.
Well, also with that too is this is really the first election that was, and people want to fucking say that it was Obama's, but I don't think so. This was the first election that happened that was social media driven. Talking about being content and things having to get out of whack again, I don't think that we've reached our content phase yet. I think that we're still in the fallout from everything that's happened. I think that we're eventually going to get there sooner than later, but I think stuff that's going on now, like with politics, with the things that are happening in the world, all these different ideas, all this different stuff, I don't think that we've reached that content point yet, but we will. I think it'll happen soon, like probably within the next 10 to 15 years. I think that's when it'll happen. That's just my thoughts.
I mean, absolutely. Our children and our grandchildren will be the ones that have to deal with that.
I would like to say, adding to that, this was the first election where at least the people here in America were like, no.
Yeah.
Not today.
Not on my watch.
No, we said no. And we said no, and we came in numbers.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen. I mean, dude, in my lifetime, it's never happened. Not like that.
No.
And they had no idea it was going to be that way. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, yeah, he might be a prick. You know what I'm saying? He might be an asshole. He might be a lot of things, but economy's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with those numbers.
Right.
You can't argue with those jobs that's been created. You can't argue with the tariffs that China's having to pay right now, over $10 billion, like that they've never ever paid their whole life. America, we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. And like for the last 20, 30 years, we haven't been.
Yeah.
We've been the little beta bitch country, you know, like
beta
bitch for sure. Like just drinking soy milk and fucking eating fucking vegan burritos. Like that's not how we roll. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out. Like it's America. Like we gotta. I've had relatives die and fight in every fucking war we've ever had. I'm old money, y'all. We've talked about this. I've been here. Civil War. Like, I've been here. During the Civil War, I had someone, I know this from the genealogy, and this was actually government records that showed this. At the same battlefield, a Union and what was the other side called?
Confederate.
Same fucking battle. Sorry, I fucking glitched out. The Union and Confederate, same battlefield. I had a family member on each goddamn side. Same battle, same field, you know?
Right.
We been here. We up in here. We all up in your ear holes, like
posted up.
And it like this was the craziest election I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I know there were a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters out there. Well, turns out he took a payout to be a fall guy. Like he knew he was never going to be fucking running for president. So your $20 that you gave him, you got fucking ripped off. Request a refund, you know? You got scammed, motherfucker. Like,
right.
It was never going to happen, and he knew that. He bought a nice-ass house with that payout money. But if you can sit here right now and tell me, and you never hear anyone say it, well, I just wish no one liked Hillary. No one.
No.
Even Democrats didn't like her. They were just like, God damn, are you serious? But you have to understand that's who your party set you up with. They tried to set up the Republicans with fucking Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio. Did you see these fucking clown shoes that they had up there trying to run for president? Donald Trump is the closest thing to a real American as you'll ever get as a president. That's Joe the Plumber.
Yeah.
Now, Joe the Plumber can't actually be the president because he's fucking a plumber. He ain't got that kind of money. But Donald, you know what I'm saying? It'll never happen. He got that kind of pull. He got that kind of fucking money. But Donald Trump was able to slide his ass in there. And I'm almost willing to bet money. Whenever Obama was at that White House Correspondents' Dinner and he was fucking trolling Trump, that sounds like a TV show. Trolling Trump. And Trump was sitting there looking at him like, I will have your fucking job, you motherfucker, and I will undo everything you ever did. Like, it changed the world. If Putin went on record saying that if Hillary was in office right now, there would have for sure been a war between us and them. Because she fucked them over. A lot of people don't know about this little Russian Silicon Valley deal that they cut, back when she was pay to play. But he didn't like her, and there would have been a war between Russia. And they're like, well, Russia rigged the election so Trump could get in there. And then Putin's just using Trump like a puppet. Ain't nobody used Trump like a puppet. Ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's rich, man. He's got gold sinks. His fucking private jet's nicer than Air Force One. He'd rather fly on it, like.
Yeah.
Every penny that he's raked in while he was the president, he just donated it to a charity because he's like, that's pennies.
Yeah.
You know? People can hate him, whatever. It's the first time, in a long time that we've had a president that wasn't just trying to make a fucking dollar, because he's already got dollars.
Yeah.
He's already fucking filthy rich. Like, and yeah, he does a lot of things people don't like, but he's trying to fix this broke ass, busted up ass motherfucker. Like, we're busted down, dude. We were sitting, whenever Trump came into office, we were sitting on the side of the road waiting for that. What's that number? What's that shit? Roadside assistance. We were sitting there like, God damn, man, what are we going to do? Like, we ran out of gas. Like, he's fixing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't fucking a fan of it when they were like Donald Trump's gonna be the president. This is fucking. He's a reality TV star. Like,
yeah,
Miss America. Like, you're just like, that's crazy.
Right.
If you told me 10 years ago he was gonna be the president, I'd laugh at you. Funny joke. But he is. And how long has he been the president? Like 2 years? Something like that, and some change.
He comes up, yeah, because he
just did a report card.
Year. Yeah.
Oh wow! So 3 years.
It was 2016, right, and then 2020. So it'll be next year.
He did more in his first year than any goddamn president we've ever had.
Yeah.
Google it. That's not a lie. You can hate him all day. Yeah. It's like, well, I don't agree with what he did. And it's like, yeah, well, sometimes in order to fix shit that's fucked up, you got to compromise, man. Like, I mean, you want America to fall? We don't. My dead relatives that fought for this motherfucker don't. Like,
yeah,
we're trying to make it to space, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to land on fucking Mars. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if y'all want to be Venezuela? Look at them. No. See how that's going. Yeah, vote Bernie. Bernie. I saw the other day that Elizabeth Warren was going to run for president. Did y'all see that?
No.
I was watching it on YouTube live. I don't have any comments to make on there, but boy, did I read the comments that people were leaving. I did not see one good comment about Elizabeth Warren. So she's running for president. I don't care who they could run fucking Abraham Lincoln against Trump and he would not win. Like,
right.
They could dig up fucking George Washington and clone his ass. That motherfucker's going to get elected again.
Yeah.
Unless they just straight up steal it somehow. My thing is, it's like, you got these people that run for office and they're like, we want to do undocumented voting. It's like, huh?
Wow.
Well, you mean you want to let someone that's not a citizen vote and then possibly vote multiple times?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, I pay taxes, motherfucker. Like, I vote. Not only do I pay taxes, when I voted, I paid the price. I had to do jury duty. And I got picked. I was there for 2 days.
Damn.
Convicted her.
Well, I'm fixing
She was guilty as fuck.
Fix have to go to bed.
I don't want to go down that road, but
right.
I'm just hoping. We're just trying to change the world, man. Like, here's the thing people have to realize is that for the last, I've been alive for fucking 31 years. Shit ain't been working, dog. It's always been shit. Something's got to change. The gas prices changed.
Yeah.
Gas still cheap over there?
Yep.
It's like $2.18 over here.
It's like $1.95.
You want to make me happy? Cheap gas.
Yeah.
That's all I need. If he could guarantee cheap gas for another 4 years, I'll vote for him. If he's like, gas is going to be $1.09 a gallon. I'm like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Like, that's dude, gas matters. When you buying that shit every day, every other day, like,
yeah.
goddamn, filling the tank up.
Yeah.
I drive a lot. All right, what are we watching next week? Damn, what were we talking about just now?
The house.
Y'all
the
got
house
me
that
all
Jack
fucked up.
built.
The house that Trump built.
Yeah.
It's a good house, okay? I love houses. Houses love me.
I am personally very excited to watch this.
I hope it's good because you've been backing this movie for a minute. What makes you back this? Like, what do you got some inside details on it or something?
Well, it had good screenings at the festivals that it was shown at.
It was a festival flick?
Positive reactions, all that. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be really weird, really, really messed up. So I'm hoping it delivers. I haven't seen a good eerie slasher movie in a long time. So
y'all got real quiet when I started talking about Trump. Y'all don't hate me, do you?
No.
Y'all got real quiet. Like, shut
I'm
the
cool
fuck
with
up,
it.
man. You're going to get us banned from the internet.
Dude,
I wasn't over here sucking his dick. I was just saying, like, the proof's in the pudding. Google it. Numbers looking good. Business is good. Numbers are up. I mean, I ain't saying I voted for him.
Your opinion, man.
Yeah, but this day and age, your opinion, dude, they'll take you up on it. They'll make you carry a cross up a hill.
Well,
yeah.
And they'll nail your ass to it and let you sit there for 3 days and then stab you in the side with a spear. Like, it's crazy. You can't have an opinion anymore.
Oh,
opinion?
the level.
That?
Oh, the level of hate that you see on social media when you get into just like.
It's toxic.
And what's funny? No, what's funny is I'll be reading comments about I don't know, a damn meme about like pussy farts or something, and suddenly I'm reading about Trump and Pelosi. Queefs? Yeah, I mean, like it spurs out of the most random areas of the internet.
I love pussy farts. Pussy farts love me.
The way you said it on the mic was crazy.
I was blowing vape out. Griffin knows.
But yeah, the house that Jack built.
The house that Jack built, and hopefully, if y'all motherfuckers get your goddamn shit together, okay, or I'll cancel this shit. We'll stop at 102. It'll be the last episode I ever goddamn do. We're gonna watch True Detective next week. 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And we'll cover that'll pretty much take up the whole episode, so we won't get into any kind of real shit or shit that matters. We'll just talk about make believe. And yeah.
I'm good with it.
We'll talk about the house that Jack built. And 2
TD.
episodes TD.
Yeah.
You won't catch that TD. It's contagious. It is contagious. All right, guys, keep it real. Keep it rigid. You guys want to say anything else?
Checks in the mail.
That's it.